Like, everybody can draw. You know what I mean? When people say, I can't even draw a smiley face, that's bullshit. I don't even know if my ego can handle if my kid just becomes a prodigy and then they're way better than me and now they're sunning. My son is sunning me. People hating Shrek's design right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think he looks better than he did before. Shrek looks bad. That's 20 years old. What are we talking about?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lavatory podcast. It's the podcast about connection because no matter who you are or what you do, I believe that we have more things in common than what divides us. So today we're going to find out what we have in common with Brandon, a.k.a. Capn Watts here, ladies and gentlemen. Give it a round of applause for him.
Hello.
Brandon, how are you doing right now?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Tired. I'm good, though.
I feel that. Yeah. Now, Brandon, to set up a picture for those that either can't see because I have to start doing a better job of doing audio versions of this, but there's some pictures here behind us, and it's safe to say that you are an artist.
Yes, sir.
Very safe to say. I got like 2, 4, 6, 8, 9,
there's
and a couple over here
a whole
too.
bin full over there.
So artistry is like your thing, and that's kind of been your passion. Can you take us to the beginning of your art journey and how you discovered art and found like the ability that you could even draw?
Dog. So as a kid, like, I used to play with like action figures, all boys did.
Right.
And like, I'm setting up scenarios in my head, turtles, Batman fighting each other, you know what I mean? Big wars, epic. My mom would be like, if you leave these on the floor, I'm gonna throw them away. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, yeah, right. You paid for it. You know what I mean? What does that mean? I tested it. She did that. I was really upset. And then she said something like backhanded, but it's like, why don't you just go draw them? And it was like a light bulb went off in my head. Like, and I was like 5. So I just went in my room and I would just sit there and draw, and it wouldn't look like what I was drawing. And I just had to keep going and going. And then now I'm here, basically. Like, that's
okay.
like,
So you weren't like a natural talent drawer, like,
nah.
Like
I think maybe it's like I'm like detail oriented, you know what I mean? So I can look at something and just kind of isolate kind of thing. So it's like, for me, it turned into this thing where it's just like, you watch something and then you want your drawing to look like what you're looking at. You know what I mean? So then it's just like years, you know what I mean? I'm 36. That was when I was 5. I've been doing it ever since, like every day. Well, I had some time off, but you know what I mean? Like, this is what I do, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, it's just been that.
Yeah.
Like a lifelong thing. Like, I don't really like I guess the talent is like being able to like sit there and do it, you know what I mean? Like, look at something, but I'd say it's skill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've learned everything and I'm still learning,
Yeah. And I actually touched on something I wanted to get into about like skill versus art, but also like the commitment it takes to learn drawing, because it sounds like anybody can, learn to put in the practice to get the basic framework down. Can you talk more about the commitment that you, I guess, had an inclination for to pursue this consistently? Because I know a lot of people like me, myself, when they try to draw something and it doesn't come out the way they want it to come out, you just kind of give up or get frustrated and just move on to something else. What was the interest and the desire to keep going and getting the images out of your head onto paper?
Oh, I don't know, man. Like, I was grounded a lot as a kid. Like, a lot. Like, bad grades, getting into shit, like everything. So it's like, when you're just in your room for months, you know what I mean? What else are you going to do? Like, I was drawing so much at a certain point that my dad was like, you're grounded from drawing for like a month. You know what I mean? It's like, and then I come home and he looked through my bag and like see if there's like little notebooks and stuff. Like, it was insane. Like, I think that kind of gave me trauma a little bit. Like, damn, man, like nobody wants to see me win. Like, you know what I mean? This is crazy. So yeah, like I think it's just like all that time of just sitting there and doing it, and then like not being satisfied, like looking back the next day, like it just became like I was compelled to do it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't like, a lot of people go through that. Like, you have people that are like, oh, this is like their God-given thing, you know what I mean? So it's like that's just who they are. So it's like the art thing that just became, but then it's like in all aspects of it where it's just like, I'll paint, I'll draw, I'll do digital, graphic, design, animation. Like, I just love that art form, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I always try to pursue whatever I can within it, you know what I mean? And like try to master it, or at least just become like really adept at it. You know what I mean? So it's just like I didn't know oil, so I'm just like, all right, man, let me watch some fucking YouTube videos. And I remember something from high school, and I would just sit there and just like it's ever since like this year, every month I try to like tackle a new discipline or just something I haven't done in a while. So it's like this was like during like all acrylic, like all right, I'm just painting
And then
acrylic.
can you describe what we're looking at here?
It's a girl with a bunch of swishy stuff around her. Like, she's gray. She's nude. You know what I mean? But tasteful nude. A little crack. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. And
Is she
then
bald up there?
yeah, you know, like hair's hard to do sometimes, and I think like I just found an aesthetic with it, and I just stick with it. I have some hair over here, but like it just turns into a thing where it's like okay, I kind of want this to not like be androgynous in the sense of like you don't know what you're looking at. You know what I mean? Is it? I mean the features. Like you could look at the features and just be like, well, I am a black dude. You know what I mean? This is what you know what I mean. This is what I am. So it's like black women, all that stuff. So it's like that's like a default that I tend to go to a lot, and then I just try to switch it up and everything because I do want my art to be for everybody. But then it's also like within its roots, it's like, no, I am a black dude. Don't get it twisted, kind of thing. Like this is if I have to break down what this actually means, you know what I mean? Then it's like you probably won't want it. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So
Yeah, and so looking at this and looking at some of these other paintings, can you talk more about the process that you kind of went on to kind of find like your style and what makes these images like a Capn Watts design? It's like, oh yeah, because I've seen one of your paintings or artworks at my barber's room, tree trims,
yeah.
and he had like this grill piece, and I was like, oh, that's so unique. And then looking at some of these when I was kind of going through your Instagram and when we're setting this up, I realized I like, oh, this kind of looks like the same style of what Tree has, and to come to find out, it's the same.
Yeah.
And so like I could see that there's similarities and a certain style. Can you talk about what your style is and how you kind of went about developing it and owning your style?
Dude, I think like at first, like a lot of times it's like really about juxtaposition to me. So it's just like taking something and like I did this whole series of like old school cartoon characters, but then like on the flip side, it was like on the other side of it, they were like mutating into like all this like, and I like stuff that flows. You know what I mean? Because I think like in my brain when I see it, it's like moving. It's always moving in my head. You know what I mean? So it feels like I'm just capturing a moment in time of it. So it's like everything from this one to like these, all that stuff. It's like that's always the common theme about my stuff. You know what I mean? There's always a movement in it. So then like, but then it's just like sometimes I just want to see something cool too. But then like when you see a lot of like the gold stuff, and I just got obsessed with like just gold, the whole gold thing. Like that's like my favorite thing to do. Like whenever I do a piece, it's like, how can I throw some gold in this bitch? You know? So it's just like, but then I think at one point it turned into this thing where I would do my stuff and then I don't think people would, I have never heard them say this, but it's just like, oh, you're black. You know what I mean? Like, and there's this weird thing where it's like, wait, what does that mean? You know? So then now it turns into a thing. It's like, okay, now I got to put something in there that shows that this kind of thing too. Because it's like, as time is going on, it's like, a lot of anti-blackness going around out here. So it's like,
So you're saying that at some point earlier in your journey, people weren't able to imagine you,
Yeah.
the type of person you are and how you look,
Yeah.
and they weren't able to see that in your painting. So
Yeah.
making sure that there's some connection between your art and yourself as a black man was a key factor in kind of developing that style.
Definitely, because then like in this town and Temecula, this whole area, like I remember trying to get into like, oh my bad, get into galleries, trying to like when you're first starting out, and it felt like I was just getting turned down because of how I looked. You know what I mean? Like, so then it's just kind of I don't know. I was able to find a space that I can like really operate in. Like I was doing stuff in San Diego and like doing like these like they called it Art in the Park, and it was like with Andre Power from Selection. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I haven't.
but it's all good. Check it out, guys. And it was like that was like my first taste into doing like monthly showing up new pieces, new stuff like that. And I was like, there's like DJs and stuff there, so it's like there's always like connection to that, and I just found like my niche within that, you know what I mean, and able to operate within that and still try to do stuff out here. So it was just like I don't know, like it's just weird. It's like a weird thing, like trying to get into art, but then like I'll do graffiti, but then it's like, nah, but I don't want to do fan art. You know what I mean? So it's just hard to operate. And like then trying to play to the algorithm stuff and like really like I do okay. You know what I mean? Like it's not popping. Like I still get jobs every month for stuff and I still sell stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like I don't know. Like I quit for a while and then it was just like, all right, nah, I still have to do this. I'm compelled to do this. But then it's like, yeah, I got to keep it going. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I even forgot the question. I started going on a tangent.
Right. Well, what you said earlier, it was about like trying to break into the art scene here in Temecula area was hard. You kind of had to get yourself established out in like San Diego and other places. And now I've seen that you're starting to get more of those offers and invites like here in this scene and kind of being well known. And I kind of, this like reminds me of like the story in the Bible about like, how when Jesus tried to start his ministry, he couldn't start it in Nazareth because people were like, oh, isn't that, the son of, Joseph and Mary, like the little like brat that was running around the temple as a kid. Like, so it's like that saying that like you can't, you can't be a prophet in your own hometown and you can't really start anything in your own hometown because of just like either a familiarity or just like, whatever it is human psychology wise that just don't allow ourselves to take familiar faces more seriously in like their craft that like to a stranger that doesn't know you, like seeing something like this is like, oh bro, like this guy must be legit because these are like legit paintings, especially like this one down here. I don't know if you guys can even see this one. I think this might be my favorite right here.
Thanks,
because I really do think you do like lips and grills, like really, really cool.
It's my southern roots, man. I'm from Virginia.
Boy, me too.
Yeah, what part?
I was born in Newport and then like did some time in Suffolk, Virginia Beach.
Yeah, I used to live in Virginia Beach. I was born in Portsmouth.
And, see?
And Virginia Beach. And we moved out here in 2001. But it's like, you're only from California when you like leave. You know what I mean? Like when I leave here, they're like, "Where you from?" I'm from Cali. What do you mean? You know what I mean? But like, I'm from Virginia. Like, and I've had people be like, "I can hear a little Southern accent." I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" Like, but no, man. Like, that's hometown.
Yeah, I totally feel that. Like, I grew up in a military family background, so I was always traveling. Oh, so you probably, you probably that's probably why you were on the Bay side. So traveling all the time, it's always kind of hard to like find, I guess like at least for me, it was hard to find like roots in like, oh, like where are you from? Because I was always traveling like every 2 years. It's like, I don't know. It's like, are you asking like where I was the last 2 years? Or are you asking where I was born? Because I hardly, spent time in my, I guess, formative years there. A little bit of time in middle school, but kind of always traveled. So I always say too, like the default is like California because I've been here the longest.
Yeah, because like I was born there, we were there, and then my mom got shipped to Scotland, so we lived in Scotland for a little while. Then we moved to Sigonella, Italy, so we lived in Italy for like a couple of years. Then we came back. My parents like got married, and then they dropped us off at my grandma's house for like a year in Oklahoma. So I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma for like a year. And then we moved back to Virginia. And then I was there for like 4 or 5 years. So it's like, that's like, from 7 to 12 kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's when it's a lot. You know what I mean? You want to be cool. You know what I mean? And then they ship you out to California and you don't know anything about California. You just know, like, are there gangs out there for real? Like Boys in the Hood? Like, what are we doing? Is it Hollywood all the time? And then like, I was tripping when I first got out here because it was like, I was walking and all the schools are like outdoors, you know what I mean? And I'm like looking around, I'm like, yo, what happens when it rains? Like, you know what I mean? What are we doing? Like, is school canceled? There's like, no, you just bring an umbrella, fool. I'm like, oh, I get. So,
dude, I remember there was a time like Virginia Beach specifically flooded so bad, like kids are like swimming in the streets because it's just flooded.
Dude, what year was that?
This would have been, I was in 5th grade, so this would have been 2005.
No, I was out here. I went back to visit in 2005. I remember
Yeah.
that, but yeah,
There was a pretty
it
big
was like
flood.
August, so I don't know if I missed it or I was before it.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I
was a
mean?
big flood.
Yeah, like I remember there was one in like '98, I think. Like my mom had a video of us, like kind of like because we all had to stay inside and stuff, so they had like us fucking around dancing to Ice Cube and shit. It was weird, but I just remember like I thought like like we were gonna flood. You know, what I mean? I thought everything was gonna go under, but it was fine. But it's like coming out here and like hearing about earthquakes and shit. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like,
Oh yeah, it's different. It's like
yeah,
West Coast, you're gonna get the earthquakes and just like the dryness and the
the
heat.
fires.
Yeah. East Coast, you're getting hurricanes and like
Yeah.
hurricane season, the floods and like all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But anyways, back to your
My
artwork.
bad, my bad.
Because we got off on a tangent there.
Virginia native though.
Virginia native, man.
dude,
Shout
we
out.
We gotta
See?
dab it up. You know what I mean? Put these up. You know?
I know. I still got family
Yeah.
out there. Back to your artwork. Can you talk about like what was that shift from not being able to like get those opportunities in your hometown, and then kind of going out and establishing yourself, and then noticing that at some point you're starting to get some more of these opportunities closer to home and pick up more traction with your artwork.
It was definitely our mutual Kyle. Kyle, he started his collective, the Dial, RIP. And not Kyle's not dead. The place is dead. Just reiterating, but yeah, doing that and then just kind of like really showing stuff out here. That was like the first opportunity I got to like be in a gallery thing. But it's like it's ran by a bunch of 20-year-olds. You know what I mean? So it's like we faltered a lot, but like just getting those reps and doing that and then turning into like, oh, Brandon, you're head of the art department type of thing, like within our little nonprofit kind of thing, and like that I did a lot of growth in that time, and then it turned into finally being able to like approach like a brewery or something and like being able to like throw a monthly there, and then like at one point it was like I was doing a monthly at Black Market. I think it's still in off Jefferson. This is not promo for them either. Fuck them. Black Market.
So I'm assuming you don't
Yeah.
do that anymore.
No, absolutely
Oh,
not.
okay.
8-Bit Brewery. We were doing a monthly over there, and that one like got huge.
Shout out
Like,
to them or fuck them too?
Yeah, shout out to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing it anymore, but like it was like those became like big blowout things, and then that's how I got burnt out. But then it was like I was doing that. I was able to do like something at Public House kind of thing. I've done stuff at a lot of places out here at different times and different years and all that. So I think it was just then, and then just kind of wanting to like throw something for myself. So I think I've thrown like a solo show once or twice, you know what I mean? Or just had my friends come and set up at just a random spot. So now it's like I'm getting that itch back to do that more again. But I think it's just like, okay, I'm older, I'm wiser now. I'm not a drunk anymore, because then that was just like, oh, I get free drinks, I'm getting lit, and then I'm there giving away artwork at the end of the day because I'm like, I don't want to carry this to my car, like, you know what I mean? So it was just a lot of that. So I think that's where it all came from, really just from the Dial and like building that confidence kind of thing. Because I think like one thing we are lacking out here now is a place where people can come together and like build themselves up. Like a lot of people are just in their bedrooms all the time. And like not really like there's no collective mind state of like trying to do something and make this place better, like.
So let's because you give me a lot to unpack there.
Sorry.
Let's start with it's all good. Let's start with what you called the Dial.
Yeah.
It's something that you were working on with a mutual friend of ours, Kyle. And I've heard of this kind of like creative space from Kyle's perspective about like just creating a space to be able to showcase things, and artwork was one of those things that kind of get added on over time, and like different like musicians and DJs would all come together, and it became like this almost like venue for like creatives.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about that time and like setting, like being able to set that up and showcasing your artwork, and how that experience kind of propelled you to approach these other restaurants and businesses to do more showings?
Man, it was a time, man. Like, you gotta think, it's from 2011, I think we did 2011 to 2016. So it's like, you had a bunch of 21-year-olds and younger, like all trying to make a thing happen. So it's chaos. You know what I mean? It's complete chaos. And like, it's nonprofit, and like, we had to like figure out as we go. Like everybody wants to come and drink, and it's like no alcohol, no drugs, no alcohol. We're not doing that. Like of course the staff are doing. We're not even talking about that. But yeah, like it was just it was chaos. But then like as it became like a team of people, and it's like most of the people I'm still cool with to this day. You know what I mean? I still talk to a lot. Like I made some of my best friends through that. You know what I mean? So it's like and then a lot of my friends from before that, because I've always been doing art and stuff, so a lot of my musician friends have played there, and like it was like a meeting of the worlds kind of thing, and it was like it was a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? And I think it happened at the right time in my life, and it kind of like really influenced like how I move now, you know what I mean? Like through these spaces, through everything. It's like I do have to like carry myself like I'm an artist. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. Hey, can I come in here and set up a thing? No, fuck off. All right, next, move on. But it's like when I get the opportunity, it's like I'm gonna do the best I can to like really show it out, because it's like it's not something for I can get fucked up or meet girls through or anything like that. Like this is like what I do. You know what I mean? Like it's one of the being able to show my work or being able to show the work of others and like give people a shot and have people like that's like I think that's what it should be all about. You know what I mean? Like we can only build it up together. So I think that place when it was going and thriving was like just a huge part of everything that I do. Like Kyle was one of my best friends because of that place. Jason was one of my best friends because of this place. So
yeah. Shout out to Kyle and Jason, man.
Shout out, boys.
They were really sweating about what I was gonna ask you, because they're like, oh God, please don't ask me about this because it's gonna turn into this and it's gonna turn into that.
Wait, what is it? I want to know what they
No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right.
But they're really cool guys, and I'm working on some other projects with them. Just for those who don't have any context about that. And so that sounds like it gave you like the confidence and the mindset to like take it more seriously and to approach it as like you said, like as like a job and like financial opportunity versus like a means to alternative measures, because a lot of people like do creative stuff because like not necessarily because they want it, but they just want the benefits that come from like being a musician and being around like a lot of women, especially like as male artists or anything like that. And so I can see how like there's a certain mindset you gotta have to take this more seriously. Can you talk about like the first time you after the dial you went out and asked a place to show your artwork? Can you talk about the first yes you got, and like how you made that feel, and how did that make you feel, and what was like the setup and that whole experience?
Dude, I honestly can't. I can't remember. There's been so many. There's been like I'm not fronting, y'all. Like there's been so many. Like I don't remember when it really started. You know what I mean? Because it's like it was always been a gradual thing of like showing places, like getting an opportunity, someone telling, hey, you want to come set up some art here, and then like, but then like going to a spot. Maybe when I started doing the monthlies, that we mostly just had to end with somebody there. Every place I go to, I make sure I know somebody that works there. You know what I mean? Luckily now, as we get older, now it's more people in management. So they just kind of let it like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want. No fee. You know what I mean? So it's like, cool. It's about who you know sometimes. But yeah, it's just like, I don't think I've really gotten those. You know what I mean? Because it's like I always kind of plotted out. Like, I don't think I've really gotten rejected for showing stuff. Maybe they won't ask me to come back, but you know what I mean? Like that's, I guess in that I don't feel bad, because it's just like, dude, I could just chill and not like, I don't have to do this, like, because then it's really, I don't do this for my vanity kind of thing. I do it for my sanity a little bit, where it's just like, okay, I make so much stuff like and people, people are just like, oh, you should sell this, So I got tired of people saying that to me growing up. So then it just turned into this. So then even with going to spots now, I don't think I've like, there's a couple of places I have in mind, so I'm like trying to think about how do I approach it. But I guess always the right thing is to be like, it's not going to impede on your business. I'm just here for window dressing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If I can get 20 people to come, you know what I mean, then it's a success, because that's 20 people paying for a drink or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think you always got to just give them it's a win-win. You know what I mean? Get some cool art, and everyone gets to see it and buy some, like they'll buy food or buy drink.
Yeah.
So,
and because you do this full time, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you make art full time. Can you share some of like at least what you remember from like the early days of, well, I don't want to say early days of art because like art's been around for forever, but in the context of like, I guess artists from, early 2000s. Well, I guess what I'm saying is like the early days of social media to and where we are now, kind of like what opportunities have you seen and different financial means of like making money from art? Because I feel like from a non-artist perspective, like I always felt like you either had to get into like some type of art gallery and like sell these like Pollocks for ridiculous amounts of money, and I felt like there wasn't really like these platforms and scenes where more artists can be seen and different means of like making money. Can you talk about like what you've noticed about different opportunities to make this full time that you've been leaning more into?
Like for me, like the most money comes from commission stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like luckily I graphic design and do all that stuff. So it's like some people just really want your eye for things. So I know how to maneuver around all that stuff. So it's like that's where most of the money comes from because I'm just doing a big job or a couple of big jobs a month kind of thing just to do that. But like the real thing is like selling. You know what I mean? Like and when it comes to galleries, like that's tricky too because it's like the same thing. You got to know somebody, kind of thing, and like then you got to be realistic about what you're presenting too. Like if you're just throwing paint on a thing, and you charge $4,000. Like that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like. And like I've seen some splatter stuff, and I'm just like, no, this is actually good. Like, there's color theory behind this. Like, there's intention with everything. Yeah. But it's like it's not really just about that. Like, you see a Banksy or a Basquiat sell for all his money, it's like, oh, that looks, I can do that. Like, no, you can't. What are we talking about? So it's just like, for me, I think like, luckily I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm multidisciplinary too. So it's just like being able to see a show or see like there's a gallery coming up, submissions are this day, what's the theme, you know what I mean? I can whip some stuff up and then be able to like kind of think, because it's like I work on like when it comes to my personal stuff, it's very fast. It's almost kind of alarming, you know what I mean? Like I work really fast because I'm like super, that's my touch of the tism type of thing, or just like, dude, I'm hyper focused kind of thing. So like I think it's just like getting into like shows and all that kind of stuff. It's like I keep saying, you gotta look for it. You gotta like know somebody too, and then go from there. And don't be discouraged if you don't sell. A lot of people don't sell. You know, what I mean? Everybody's waiting for them to put that sticker on their thing at a silent auction. You know what I mean? Like, I did a gallery in Ocean Beach in April, and it was like a month long, and it was up there. And I'm just like, dude, I hope I get it. You know what I mean? Like I got in. Luckily, I knew the guy who curates. You know what I mean? So it's like cool. But then like I was like nervous I was gonna sell. They took like a 40% commission, you know what I mean? So that price had to be up. And it was just something I whipped up, but it was just like I was proud of it and I didn't show it off, but I'm just like, okay, hope it sells. Last day of the show, get a text like, hey, it's sold. I'm like, ooh, see, this is why I'm in this, you know, because I'm good. So it's like it feels like I get validated off of that too. So it's like I think like having the confidence to just go up to these places and submit. You can't get mad if you don't get it. It's just like maybe you got to get better, or maybe you got to find something else to do. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like being multifaceted to allow yourself to have those different opportunities to like make money. Because I know a lot of people, they can either sometimes get so bogged down in like their own style of like art, whatever medium they choose, that they're not able to do like commissions because they're not able to, like you said, like open themselves up to like a particular eye or a particular style that might be able to service a client for like graphic design and some of those other things, because they want to be so like,
I'm this.
I'm this. I'm protective of this.
If you don't like it, fuck off. It's like, well,
so I feel like a lot of people can find themselves like in that when it comes to like their art, especially like even those who are really good, but because everything nowadays with social media is so saturated, the need to be multifaceted, I feel like, is one of the biggest things as creatives in general that we just need to like have. And that's why, like, even for this, like, being able to, like, know audio, which is kind of like my baseline, and then just learning editing and learning how to be a better communicator and knowing lighting and trying to, like, incorporate all these things to create this experience for the podcast,
Yeah.
you know, is like so important. And so it's really cool to hear that like you're somebody that's also aware as an artist to like be multifaceted,
Yeah.
like, to pursue these different mediums.
Yeah, and it's insane too. Like, I love like BTS stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like behind the scenes
band?
stuff. No, absolutely
Oh.
not. I knew it was coming too. I was like, but I like behind the scenes stuff. So it's like I care about.
You don't like
this-
K-pop?
Yeah, I love. No, no. I thought you said hip hop. I was like, I love hip hop. I had to listen. No, absolutely not. But what was I saying? Yeah, no.
You love BTS.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
Yeah, so it's like over time, it's like, oh, I care about who's this cinematographer on this, who directed this, who like, oh, like who's composing this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not into like the sound world, but it's like I do have favorite producers. I do know some engineers that are out there, and it's like the whole process kind of thing. And it's like I would love to get into that, but I don't have enough like RAM for that. Like
Yeah.
I'm already covering all this stuff, and it's like I have friends like, you know, Kyle will be like, you should write something. You know, I think you have it. No, dude, I can't. I'm still trying to get. I still want to be the best at this. You know what I mean? I don't. But then within the multidisciplinary within your field, you know what I mean? That's like my thing. I can do anything within that. But yeah, dude, I'm not gonna be mixing anything anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Trust me, like I'm definitely like in that same capacity where like there's a lot of things I want to do and just making sure like I'm at the right stage for that at the right time. So like once I can get this like more automated and I build up a team to, you know, handle the editing side and handle like the producing side, and even having somebody manage like the audio, and then once like I have somebody able to edit, I can open myself up to like focus in on some like the other passions I have. So I'm right there with you, man. It's funny because like, especially with like Kyle and them, like how you said they want to like have you do like writing and like like passions and stuff like that. Like, how did you know that you wanted to pursue art specifically? Because, you know, like you said, there's a lot of interests you have and wanting to take this more seriously. Like, how are you able to like kind of make that leap into, you know, pursuing this as something as a financial option versus like, you know, finding a regular 9 to 5 or any of the other talents that you have?
It was definitely like high school. Like I was taking like advanced placement art, you know, because like to get like sometimes you got to take a Spanish to get out of school, and I'm like, no, if I take art all 4 years, and you know what I mean, I want to take a foreign language, like another language. So then like I got into advanced placement art, and then like that's when like all the Banksy street art stuff is popping off, and I'm just like, dude, these guys are making a bunch of money off this. Maybe this could be my avenue to get into, because like I was thinking about going to art school, all that stuff, and then like I went to Takashi Murakami's gallery that he had at I think it was at the LACMA or whatever in LA. And it was like right when like graduation came out. So he did the cover art for that. So I went to that whole interactive like gallery thing, and that like changed me forever. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this is it. You know what I mean? So I think that was like from that point. But then, you know, as you get older, you find out he has assistants, you have all this stuff. It's like, ugh, you know what I mean? Oh, capitalism, no, no, like it sucks. But like, yeah, like I still trying to fight the good fight. You know what I mean? Like now we're in the AI era, and it's just getting harder and harder to be like it's hard to not feel nihilistic about all of it. But it's like gotta keep going. You know what I mean? Like I this year was like all about like making like my twin sons were born this year, and it turned into this thing where it's like, thank you. It turns this thing to like manifesting everything that I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? Because it was like, you know, I used to drink a lot. And I'm just like, dude, like, I'm going to lose my family. I'm going to lose my life over this, you know? Like, I don't have a stop button kind of thing. So it's just like, all right, if I want to keep all this, like, keep everything I have right now, I got to cut this out. And then I got to go back to this thing because I, like, wasn't doing this as much.
Yeah.
And then from that point, it just turned into, like, no, I just have to keep going. I forgot the question again. My bad. It's like I started thinking about my life.
No, you were all
stuff.
good.
But yeah, it was definitely that gallery. That gallery changed everything. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Like, and I've lost myself in that, but then now I'm back to it, and now it's like, oh, now I'm doing shows again. Now I'm doing this, and that. So it's like, we're gonna get in another gallery this year for sure. Maybe 2. We'll see. But
Nice.
that's what I'm going for. You know?
Yeah. And so you kind of mentioned that earlier too about like the 8-bit stuff, and just now, like, even with where you're at right now, there's a lot of things you also had to like overcome, and it sounded like alcoholism was one of those things that you're dealing with. And I've seen that like on your story sometimes, that like you'll post that like you're at the X amount of time in your sobriety. Can you talk more about like the dark times that you've had to overcome in order to protect your sanity, protect the unity of your family, and also just protect the, I guess, integrity of like your artwork, some of the things that you were dealing with, and what those things were, and how you got through them, or how you're getting through them?
Dude, it's it's life. Like life comes at you, and then you feel like, okay, I can just unwind with this. But then I was like always just a very introverted person. I didn't really talk to people, so that was like a crutch to help me break out of my shell a lot. And then most of the friends I met like in my later years was like through like being in bars and stuff, and then you find cool people navigating that. But like, you know, it turns into a thing where it's like you can't stop. You know what I mean? You can keep going, and then you start developing nasty habits. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, fuck it. I was like buying fucking cocaine and shit. Like, let's keep it going. Let's fucking party, bro. Like, and then I try to come back and paint, and I'm like, bro, like this is ass. Like, I can't even focus. Like, oh, let's go dance. Like, you know what I mean? It was, and it just got dark. Cause it's just like, dude, like I don't have anything. You know what I mean? I used to do this. You know what I mean? I'm just getting fucking high and shit. You know what I mean? And like, it wasn't like, it was definitely anytime I drink, then it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna fucking back down. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, yeah, it's do what you want. I don't really care about drug stuff. You know what I mean? People can do whatever they want. I just know what I did, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, like this isn't you. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then it's when I had my first kid, it was just like, yeah, no drinking, none of this shit. And then, I found myself like getting drunk one night, and then it's like I didn't come home for a day. You know what I mean? I'm like away from my family, and it's like, dude, you keep doing this shit, like it's gonna be over. You know what I mean? Like you can't keep doing that. Like the party's over, kind of thing. You got somebody else to look after. You got your family to look after. Then, and my girl got pregnant with twin boys, and then it was just like, yeah, fuck that shit. Like this is done. Like this is done. I gotta lock in, and like I'm better for it. I'm 100%, and I can talk about it now because it's like I don't think I like every day is a battle. You know what I mean? Because it's just like idle hands or the devil's playground thing. So it's like if I get bored, like I drank from 19 to 36. You know what I mean? Like, and it got really crazy when it's just like one weekend out of the month to like, all right, twice, but then now it turns into every day. Now you're drinking in the house, you know what I mean? Now my girl's sleeping in the room with the baby, and I'm just sneaking, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like pretending like I'm on the computer, but I'm really just throwing them back, you know what I mean? And it's just like, dude, that sucks, like, and then like wasting money, you know what I mean? Like I'd leave the house with a certain amount of money, and then my girl's just like, how much money did you spend? I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Like I don't want to talk about it. And then I'm looking at my kid, and she doesn't know what the fuck I was doing. She's just happy to see me, and I just break down crying. I was like, dude, I was out doing stupid shit. So it's just, those were the dark times, because then it was like turning this thing where I'm like, I can't even look at my phone because my kid is my phone picture. If I look at this shit, I'm gonna start crying. And then I gotta leave, but I'm all fucked up. So should I just come home all like, I made it, you know what I mean? And then like, do I crash, all that kind of shit, So it's just like, yeah, like I just had to turn it off,
Man, and so it sounds like having those twins and your kids was like the definitive turning point of like, okay, like I got to start making some decisions, or it's all lost. Yeah. And some people don't even have like the I don't know what to call it, because I don't know if it's strength or just like the willpower or just the mindset to make that shift, because a lot of people go through the same thing and they lose their families, and but it seems like this is something that is like a high priority, or just something just so meaningful to you that it helped you get to that point. Can you talk about like what drives you, and like what is so meaningful to you? I guess your motivation for living and for painting, and yeah, some of those
I
things.
guess family from now, you know what I mean? Like in these last 2 years, I have a family, so it's like that's like the most important thing to me. But then also like really for the love of the game, bro. Like creating is so fun. Like it's the best, and like like a lot of the joy I get too is like when I sell something or I give somebody a piece or like and they really like my art and stuff like that. Like that's like another thing. It's like when the dog wags his tail, is just happy. You know what I mean? That's all I get out of it. Just like the little things, like oh, this stuff is good. You know what I mean? Like that always feels good. So it's like that's what I'm doing it for, and it's like I'm always gonna get better because like I can look at old stuff like this is bad. You know what I mean? And somebody might think it's the best thing ever, and then like there's also this part of me that's like I think about when I'm gone, like what do I leave behind? You know what I mean? And I've sold thousands of pieces, like throughout the years. You know what I mean? When I like really like someone will send me something, it's like, you remember this? I'm like, no, I don't, And that feels good too, because like people will see it and like maybe some of these pieces or they were gifted to somebody and maybe that person's not around or anything like that. So it's just like they have a piece of me and like it means something to them. So it's like I can feel that energy sometimes. Where it's just like, yo, like I have people that only buy my stuff. You know what I mean? It's like your stuff's all over my house, and it's like that feels good. Thank you. You know what I mean? And it's like it's not really about the money. Oh my bad. It's not really about the money. It's like I'm really in it for the love of the game. I love creating. I love making art. Like I found that love again. Like maybe through my kids because I wasn't doing it right before they were born, and then I found myself trying to get back to it, and then now I'm like fully back in it, and it feels good. I'm happier. You know what I mean? Like saves me from the bottle. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I feel you, man. Like when I was younger, it was so much easier to be creative and pursue different avenues. Like I kind of got into graphic design and like photo design, stuff like that earlier. And then, like you said, like life happens and then you just kind of like lose it and need something to like ground yourself to like push you through to pursue your purpose. Because like it's one thing to like know your purpose and then it's a whole nother thing to like pursue it.
Yeah.
And like knowing what you need to do is so easy, but like taking this, especially like the first step in order to like, see it through is like a whole nother thing. And so like, I feel like even being like a father, life is just going to push you through like to do that. But it's like one thing to know that you need to be present and to, set boundaries and be present and be disciplined on being aware of like what they're doing and what you're doing. But it's a whole nother thing to like actually see it through it every day. So I totally understand you on that, man.
Dude, it's insane because it's like, first kid, whoops, whoops, hey, all right, you're here. Second one, we were just like, all right, like we're just gonna do it. But then it turned out to be twin boys, and then it turned out like, well, first it turned out to be twins, and I'm like, oh my god, this is insane. And then it turned out to be twin boys, and it's like realistically, I'm the last Watkins in my family name. Like it's kind of like it's everything's riding on this. And then the fact that got boys and stuff, it's like, dude, yeah, this is some weird destiny shit going on. Like I kind of have to, I got to stay straight. I got to be on the straight and narrow, like, and do everything for them, and basically raise good people and have more good people out here. That's all it really kind of comes down to. But at least trying to fight the good fight. I keep saying that. Like, you have to keep fighting that good fight for creativity. So it's like, hopefully my kids are a little creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I feel that, man. Like even getting this podcast like set up today, like it took so much out of me, like mentally, to like not like just call you up and cancel or something like that. Not because I didn't want to do it, but it's like you said, sometimes even for me with life, it's just so hard to like push myself to pursue the creativity and do the work that I enjoy doing. Because ultimately, like even like now that I'm in this moment, like I just love talking with people and love connecting with people and understand like hearing new stories I haven't heard before and seeing different perspectives. But like the idea when I have to like schedule and set it up and think about like, oh man, I don't know if it's gonna go well. Like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to pursue this? Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, there's so many dialogues and voices I have that try to deter me. But then once I make those steps and like set the date, and I don't like to be a person that cancels. Kyle says it's because of my Leo personality that I like to be a people pleaser. It's not entirely wrong. That
Kyle's getting a lot of shout outs in this.
He is, man. It's like once I set those up, I'm like, okay, like I committed, like I'm not gonna cancel this person. They're excited to come on. They want to be a part of it. And thankfully, like, a lot of people around town have been like, oh, bro, I've seen your podcast, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
Yeah, I was like looking through who you got, and I was like, was it Xavier?
Yeah, Xavier Abraham, yep.
I used to date his cousin back in the day, so I was like, oh man, I see this dude when he was little. Like, that's so sick. They're a singing family, so it's like, it's cool that he's doing that. So it's like, you know, there's these weird connections going on with all these people, but maybe that's just because it's small town, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, like, all these things, like, I don't want to just squander that because of, like, things I know I need to get over and the steps I need to be, like, taking every day. And ultimately, it's like a daily thing, right? Yeah. Like, you gotta wake up and choose yourself and believe, like, in the passion and purpose that that you've been given and to see it through. Yeah. So I totally feel you on that, man.
Can I say that? Because it's like, I want to, like, elaborate, like, jump on what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know what it feels like to, like, you wake up, you know you have something to do, and then you don't do it, and you go to bed, and you're like, dog, I didn't need to do whatever bullshit I did today. Yeah, I should have been doing a thing. And then now that thing you're working on, it's been months that haven't done it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a trap. It's a scary trap, and we fall for, like, people who are creative or skilled or fall for that every day. Every day. It's like we have to, like, we can't be like, oh, just jump. You just got to do it. But then sometimes I am like, yeah, but you just got to do it sometimes. But man, it takes a lot of buildup up here to, like, even, like, begin to function, because it's like, like, maybe it's all touch of the tisms with people. I don't know. Yeah,
it's so like, I'm learning to, like, develop different habits to get myself to trigger like that and go and do, like, the work I know I need to get done in order to grow this, because ultimately I would like this to be the thing that you know, allows me to do other things and create different opportunities, and I would like to just do this full time. But I was telling my wife that, like, some days it's like I like the security of, like, a regular 9 to 5, but I like the freedom that I know this would give me. And so it's like, but I don't like the insecurity of, like, is this going to work out, and the investment and the belief in it?
Yeah, when my kid was born, I had a 9 to 5. Actually, it was a 6 to 2. And you know what? It was great, but then, dude, I had to go to bed at 8 because, like, you know what I mean? I got a little baby that's going to wake up screaming, so I just want to be able to make sure I can wake up, feed her, and go to sleep and not be pissed. Yeah. So then, you know, got laid off, but that was a blessing in disguise. So I was able to get back on my stuff. So it's just like, all right, cool. Like, I'm thankful for my lady that, like, you know, picked up the slack at the beginning. Oh, my bad. No, damn, my bad, dude. Yeah, like, I appreciated my lady that picked up the slack, but then it's like, okay, now we're in a very good spot, and, like, we got 3 kids now, and we're not, you know, sucking on pennies. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing okay. We're doing all right. Like, we have a lot of help and all that stuff, but it's like we're still able to, like, just kind of function within this, and I can still pursue this thing. But I'm realistic. If things start looking weird, then I gotta go back. You know what I mean? This isn't end all be all. I got 3 children. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes the dream gotta die, like, a little bit. Not like I'm still gonna do this. You know what I mean? I'm in this game for life. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be 7 years old still doing this. So it's just like, you know, sometimes you got to do the grind. The insecurity sometimes is the fun part. You know what I mean? Because
I'm glad you see it that way. That's definitely a personality trait for sure. I'm so glad you see it that way.
Take a risk.
You know, I think, and maybe for me, like, because, like, the military background, and there's always, like, a different change in your lifestyle. Like, for me, it was like every 2 years, it was like going somewhere. Like, I feel like that insecurity of, like, having to be in a new environment and having to make new friends, and I don't know if I'm gonna thrive in this one like I did in the last one, and all that kind of stuff. Like, I just love a sense of stability, and so it's like, I think from, like, a fear standpoint, subconsciously, it's like I know that I kind of, like, seek and crave, like, the 9 to 5, because I've, like, had, like, you know, super, like, cushy, like, corporate office jobs, you know, like the typical, like American Psycho, like, go to work in the buildings and you know, type on the computers all day, and none of it really, like, means anything. And I loved it because it was just so, like, easy, and you don't have to think about anything, and that's just, like, your thing. And I know a lot of people don't like you know, repetition, all that kind of stuff, but sometimes it's like, bro, like if this is all there is, like, why do I need to worry about anything else? But then, like, the more you get to know yourself and know what you want, and it's like, oh, like I'm killing myself doing this because I'm not being able to express and seek, creativity. And that's like the catch-22 about all this technology with like AI and social media and all this kind of stuff, is that like there's so much possibility for creatives to express themselves, but then in order to like either balance the two or pursue it, financially, like you kind of touched on way earlier about like, art versus like capitalism and trying to manage that, it's just like so challenging. Like, how do you, I guess, mentally like come to peace when it comes to like, man, like I love doing this as like my financial means, but like I don't want to be like too greedy about capitalism. Like, how are you managing that kind of tightrope?
Sometimes you gotta just weigh out the situation you're in. So it's like if I go do a show at some place or do like, a market somewhere, I like kind of look at where I'm at, what kind of clientele there is, and then I kind of base like I'm gonna know about the show in advance, obviously, like where's it at and all that stuff. So then it's like, okay, cater to what you think is gonna work there. Like I did a thing in Long Beach one time, and it was like a bunch of like skater kids. Like it was sick. They had a half pipe in there. It was super dope. But it's just like cleaned house because I brought like all these kids are gonna be into anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I could bring my whole setup, and I had like, I'll show you a picture one day. But it's like it was a crazy setup. I was the only person that had like a full on walk in gallery thing, and it's just like hundreds of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like all made by hand too, or like printed by I printed it, I framed it, I did everything. So it's like all that stuff. But then it's like, oh, if I go do something in a winery, I can't bring this stuff. I'm gonna bring something a little more elegant. So it's like you just got to know how to navigate that and just know your price. Because sometimes I'm just like in a good mood. I'm like, dude, just take it. Just take it. It's a print. I don't care. You know what I mean? But then it's like a painting. You kind of have to weigh it out and how they really feel about it. And then like realistically, it's like I am in it for like the love of it. And if somebody really likes it and they really want it, I'm like, yeah, man, take it. Because I've had so many conversations with people like, yeah, dude, this is in my house. I've had it for 10 years. And it's like I walk past this thing every day. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, but then I could sell something for like way more money or do a job for way more money. But it's like, I like kind of building up relationships with people, and like, one person buys from you, they might keep buying from you, and then that might be the person that changes their life. You know what I mean? So it's like, there is that capitalistic side of it, but then it's like also, I don't know. I think I found like the perfect way to kind of navigate it and not feel dirty about it, but not feel like I'm like getting taken advantage of or anything like that.
Yeah. Will you ever find yourself in a situation where like, what's to say some rich schmuck like really was interested, not necessarily like in your art, and this is a very hypothetical.
Yeah.
Let's just say some like rich schmuck like really wanted to like show like he's connected to let's say like the urban community and want to showcase like let's just say there's like rich white schmuck like wants to showcase like he's really in the community. Let's say he's like running for president or something.
Oh no. Okay.
And then he wants to put like your artwork up there to kind of like make himself seem more relatable. I'm not talking about anybody like in particular right now. I'm just saying for hypothetical. And he offered you like a blank check, like $5 million, for the sake of
everybody has their fucking price, bro. It depends on who it is. It really depends. Like, would I do something for this government right now? Fuck no. You know what I mean? The bag has like there's heavy bags. You know what I mean? Sometimes the bag is too heavy. You know what I mean? You gotta do it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, and you gotta take that blood money and give it back to the community. You gotta do something. But like, dude, I got 3 fucking kids, and I'm basically the beginning of the new generation of this thing. So it's like, if I had an opportunity to create generational wealth within the Watkins family, y'all can't be mad at me for that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to use it for evil, but it's like, but I would say fuck Trump, though. I wouldn't do it for any government. I
never said Trump. I didn't say
sorry,
it was
guys.
for Trump.
That guy's
said that.
But all right, let's, you know what I mean? Anybody that's in a government, anybody that's doing harm to the community, they're not getting anything from me.
Which is pretty much the whole government.
Yeah, but if $10 million too low, you know what I mean? Like $500 million, I'd be a fool. I'd be a fool not to do that. Like, that's gonna keep me awake for the rest of my life. That I'm like, I did get offered that money, I didn't take it. You know what I mean? Like, I got a hospital bill. All this stuff. Like, and you would kill yourself over not like literally, but you know what I mean. You would kill yourself thinking about like, dude, like, yeah, I didn't take the money, and everyone's just looking at you like a fool. Like you could have. I don't know. That's a very loaded question because like you really have to break down like how much is your soul worth? You know what I mean? How much is it worth?
That's true.
And you like to say no, but then
right.
you haven't had an opportunity where it came up. You know what I mean? Like everybody has their price. Everybody has their price. There's been jobs people do that like I should have charged them more for this. And it's like you sold your soul to that guy for 10 less dollars than you wanted. You know what I mean? That's even selling your soul in that. Like I don't know. That's complicated. That's a good question.
I feel you, man, because there's like an interview that Terrence Crawford did.
Yeah.
He was on like a football podcast, and they were talking about after he won with Canelo and all that kind of stuff, and him retiring. And they were asking like, "Oh, there's no amount of money to like get you in the ring and blah blah blah." And he's like, "Nope. Like I set out to do what I need to do. Like I've I think he went undefeated in his
he did.
career. Yeah. And now he's just like gone off the face of the earth, like retired, chilling, and all that kind of stuff. And the guy was like, "Oh, there's always a price, And he's like, "That's cool. That's you.
Yeah.
Now we know."
Yeah.
But I feel you that like nobody knows what they're willing to do or capable of doing until they're like in those situations.
It's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you can always say, "No, I'm gonna stick to my guns," but how many people have you seen that you've been a fan of or looked up to have betrayed you?
That's why I say never meet your heroes.
Yeah, like I heard like Virginia native, Pharrell was my guy, and then all this Israel stuff is, whoo! I was like, whoa, this is tough. Like, and then the thing with Chad Hugo, like, you know what I mean? All that stuff. Like, I'm like, dude, this is the hardest battle I've had to fight for this guy. You know what I mean? Like, his beats don't even hit no more. You know what I mean? Like, Kanye, I let go of that dude a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, even with this new one that came out, I listened to him like, yeah, you know what? Not great. I'll never buy it. I'll never buy anything by him. What?
You talking about Bully?
Yeah. Like, it's unfinished. You know what I mean? What are we doing? But, like, everybody loves that dude so much. And it's like, he betrayed us, y'all. Like, he really betrayed us. He was out here in a black and a Dior clan suit. What are we doing? Like... It's like, oh no, I'm fine, y'all. I was like, nah, man, you can't come back from that. I'll still listen though. I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? Formative years with that dude. So it's like that never meet your heroes thing, but like I don't even like I guess there's people I like, but I don't have people I'm like, this is my idol. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to think about. It's like you worship this dude. Like he's a capitalist. He's a famous person. You know what I mean? He's probably done so much. He had to do so much stuff to get to this point that he's probably not even proud of. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be that person. You know?
Yeah. But unless it's
the price is right.
The price is right.
The price is right. You know what I mean? Like what do you mean? Like what do you mean by the next 6 generations are good? Like
or until
what do I have to do? You know what I mean? Like
until the economy collapses and it was worth nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the other sad part too, because I've seen like apocalyptic movies where like
money
somebody's
means nothing.
Yeah. Like I've seen like a grandma who's like cooking because she knows how to like cook and still like gather stuff and there's like these people in rich suits that are like, oh, like how much for like a bowl? Like I have a Lamborghini, I have like this Rolex. And she's like, bitch, that shit don't mean nothing nowadays. We don't even have gas. I can't even drive it nowhere.
Yeah.
Like
and that's true. Like I think that's why I make art. You know what I mean? This is priceless. You know what I mean? Like I just put a price on it because like, hey, you want it? Like I gotta feed my kids. It's like, but I get you. I get you. Like I don't have like a lust for money. I really don't. Otherwise, like I'd be selling this stuff for way more than I do. You know what I mean? Like I just, but it'd be nice to have a lot. You know what I mean? Especially right now. Like it'd be really nice to have a lot. Everybody's broke. Like this sucks. So it's like I'm trying to sell stuff to people and people can't even buy stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm in a tough spot and I'm really grateful to everyone that's bought stuff. You know what I mean? Like you got to have, and that's why I like sell it for so low. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, hey man, like I said, I give it away sometimes. Like, hey, if you can put it, but then there have been times where I look in somebody's trunk and it's in there, and I'm like, damn, I sold you that like a year ago. You didn't even give a fuck. Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like you just I'm not gonna crash out. Thank you for buying it. It's just like, all right, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you for my beer that night that I wasted that on. Now when I look back, so
I feel you, man. Yeah, and it's like that whole thing about, because it seems like you really want to put the passion of the art first and foremost. So it's like, if somebody's really passionate, you want to make sure that passion is genuine and that they're in the same pursuit of like preserving the art. Because looking back, like 200, 300 years, like those are like some of the key things to survive, is like these Da Vinci paintings and these sculptures and like architecture and just like art seems to be one of those things that lasts throughout history versus the political I guess like aspect of what was going on during like random times. Like everybody always knows about like Caesar and like like the Roman Empire, like all these other great empires, but art is one of those pivotal things that seems to always land the test of time. And I think you kind of said something earlier about like your legacy, about like what you want to leave behind. Can you just kind of reiterate on that, about like where you're at with when it comes to like the legacy that Capn Watts wants to leave behind, and what you want your art to kind of, or how you want your art to go down in history?
I don't even know, man. That's such a crazy question. Like, I switch up stylistically so much, and then like I do stuff that's a little more like there's an urgency to it, and like what I'm trying to say with it, and like what it actually means. But then like I found myself I got so lost in the weeds on it. Like a lot of my I don't really have it here. Like you can even see one right here where it says like it's all fake. Like there's a point in time in my like art stuff, and like people can look back and see this, where it's like there's like weird little subliminals in there of like, yo, like don't like, and especially when I'm showing it on Instagram and all that stuff, where it's just like, yo, this is all fake stuff. Like go touch grass, go like this art, this is real though. You know what I mean? This was before the AI shit. So now it's like, damn, it's a kind of prophetic now. Like it's insane that now when I look at something like, damn, this really is all fake. Like I can't believe this. Like this didn't come from anybody. This was stolen from a bunch of people and put into this weird mutant thing. You know what I mean? Like this isn't art. This is just an amalgamation of everything. It's like Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate of art. You know what I mean? It's weird. We're in a weird spot with it, and I don't like it. So it's just like, yeah, this stuff is more important than ever, because I want my legacy to be like, he never switched up. He always kept it. He always kept it down for the creatives and for art. Always. You know what I mean? Like you can see from his progression from this point to this point, he just kept it going always. He died on his art table. You know what I mean? He died with a pen in his hand or paint. You know what I mean? That's what I want. But then it's also like, I want my kids to be like, yeah, my dad is the greatest artist ever lived. That's probably like the most important thing to me. And I hate to be that guy that like, you know what I mean? My kids are everything, but it's like, dude, man, they saved my life, son. Like those are my dogs. Shout out to them.
There you go. No, I feel that because like integrity is something that we're just losing because of like, what is the price that people are willing to pay? And that was something I wanted to touch on earlier too. But like also like when it comes to art, like I feel like for some people, and I'm not going to say like the people who post it online, but for some, and I'm going to say a very small margin, maybe it is like this is like a means, a medium for me to be able to express myself in a way that I wasn't able to before, and generate art. But also too, it's like, bitch, just put in the work. Like if you really want to, like there's basic 101s you could learn to like, develop it.
It's that thing for Ratatouille. What do you say? Everybody can cook. Like everybody can draw. You know what I mean? When people say, I can't even draw a smiley face, that's bullshit. Yeah, you can. Just do it. Like, you know what I mean? I know what it is. You know what I mean? Unless you're just, you know what I mean? It's a line, and I'm just like, well, that's not a smiley face. You know what I mean? Oh, you don't have cognitive abilities. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, do a smiley face. Like I can't even draw a line. Like that's stupid. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, that's just ridiculous to me. And you could do anything you want to do if you really just try. You know what I mean? Everybody starts off being bad. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to be bad for a while. You know what I mean? Like, I like from kindergarten to now. You know what I mean? I wasn't like this. Like, there are the savants. You know what I mean? Like, those people that just get it. You know what I mean? That just, people hear a song and it's like, oh, dude, I can play this out easy. You know what I mean? That comes to some people. Some people got to work at it. I can say I'm one of those people that worked at it, and I'm still working at it. You know what I mean? Maybe the talent comes from the eye. You know what I mean? Kind of being able to look at something and break it down. But like, maybe that's my mutant gene. You know what I mean? X-Men activating.
Yeah, there you go. Because I feel like, especially with me kind of just meeting you now, and a lot of people meeting you now, seeing where you're at now, and this, and thinking this is what has always been. And like you said, like being able to put in the work, and hopefully too, people see that too with the podcast, that like, you know, listen, I'm learning as I go too, and just being able to put in the work to just try to find ways to get better. But yeah, I totally agree that people don't want to be bad, and they don't like the frustration of having to put in the work to grind, and that's one of those things too that we're just losing as time goes on with
instant gratification.
Yeah, our generation, and especially like the next generation, is just like that satisfaction from just sweat and grit. Is that something that you're like passionate about, making sure that your kids like you know, hold on to, and how do you feel like you're gonna go about doing that as like a new parent?
Dude, like I've been hearing everyone tell me, like, you know, like your kids are gonna be the people that they're gonna be. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't force this stuff down their throat. You know what I mean? I do have to keep fighting the good fight, but I have to like still push that forward. Like, you know, they'll like lead by me doing it all the time, and then they'll want to pick it up eventually or something. Because little kids draw. You know what I mean? They sit down, like, you need them to waste some time, but like the difference is like I'm gonna be. if they show any kind of inkling towards it, it's like time to lock in. Like, did you do your circles today? What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, but then also like if they want to pursue other stuff, like I'm not gonna make them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if my ego can handle if my kid just becomes a prodigy and then they're way better than me and now my son is sunning me. You know what I mean? Like, or it's just like, yeah, Brandon, you're good, but that kid of yours, like, and I'll be proud, but I'm like, dog, like, what does he have? Like, how is he seeing the world? Like, am I too damaged now? I've ruined too many brain cells. Is this what it is? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, but it's like that's the part like I'm really excited about. Like, what is gonna be their thing? You know what I mean? Like my little daughter, she's one, but she likes to like dance around. You know what I mean? We can't give her pins; she can put it in her mouth. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like I'm really excited about that. The boys, they're too new. I don't know who they are. You know what I mean? They just sit there and, you know, drink and shit. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, they're pretty boring. They're cool, but they're boring. But that daughter of mine, I think she's going places. We'll see. I hope that it's like, if she get like, my niece is starting to draw, and I was like, she sent me a text like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And I'm like, "All right, it's about to be some bullshit." It's a little kid. Ooh, new prodigy. You know what I mean? I just told her, keep going, just keep going. Like, when we see each other in person, because she's in Bakersfield right now. Like, I'm sorry if I'm doxing my niece. I don't know. Y'all don't know her name. Fuck it. But I'm hoping that we could sit down and I can like teach her some stuff. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna. I hope that they go into it. You know what I mean? At least I'll have something to teach them.
Yeah,
you know?
that was something that Ryan said too. That like, you know, your kids are gonna be who they want to be, not what you want them to be. But like, if they do have passion for that, then it's like, oh yeah, let me encourage them as much as I can in what, you know, I'm passionate about, but also allowing them to find their own voice. And I mean, I hope your kid, you know, it ends up better too. I hope he cooks your ass when it comes to art.
I kind of hope so too. Like, because, you know, I'm not like, if my kid ends up being like the next big thing, like in art, you know, because I'm not looking for that. You know what I mean? I like my little pocket. I like to sell my stuff. I like to meet people and build with people. Like, that's where I'm at. But like, if my kid becomes like the next thing, like, I would be so proud. And I'm like, dude, the Watts method works, and I'm gonna write a book. There
you go.
So
yeah, because like we were talking about earlier, when it comes to like the capitalistic pursuit, like at some point, especially if you were going to sell these for like, you know, crazy amounts of money, like you have to like convince yourself of like this ego and pretentiousness and like why like art, you know, should like why your art should cost this amount of money, which, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes I feel like that's just like bullshit, because they've like convinced themselves put themselves up on this higher pedestal of like of something that is, you know, ultimately to some degree like subjective. And that's not to say that like you can't put like a value on it, but like you said, like art is priceless, and in 100 years from now, when you're detached from it, it's going to have a whole different meaning and value and interpretation, especially when you're so removed from that. Like I was talking to Kyle, again, shout out Kyle, about like, we were talking about something silly. And I was like, man, like imagine like, cause we let's say like, you know, like this cup or something, you know, this is like a dumb, you know,
battery.
This is actually the screen vial from Monsters Inc.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
they had.
I was like, it looks.
But let's just say like 100, 200 years from now, if we're all still around and this cup survives, and like, what if they just have like their own interpretation of what this cup was? Like, oh, this cup was made for royalty. Like it's a silver, this trim, and notice like the plus and minus sign, and how like the more you drink it showed like your energy levels and whatever, you can make up a whole bullshit ass thing. And I've seen this in like BoJack Horseman and different things, but like something that's like simple to us, or mystifying to us, could have been something like super basic and simple to like the people like 200 years ago, like the pyramids. Like, we have all these different themes and ideas about like the pyramids, and we don't know how they did it. It's like and so we like idolize and fantasize about it. But to them, like because they did it so often, and they had like their own technologies and stuff like that, it's just like, oh yeah, like we just wanted to do it, like we just managed together.
Super easy.
Super easy.
I've had people ask me about like, how'd you make this? I'm like, bro, I just sat down and just did it. Like there's not really a story behind it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times it's just like working through like an emotion that I have, and then it's like boom, boom, boom. And then when they ask me about it later, sometimes I do have to big it up. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, I was like really feeling this, and this is what was going on at this time, and that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like you gotta sell it. You know what I mean? You gotta tell the story behind it. Like especially when you're in those spaces of like the pretentious. You know what I mean? Like what really inspired this? Like
I've seen that a lot in movies too, like and I feel like that is like the connotation when it comes to like art schools, is that like everything has to have a meaning. You have to be able to articulate like a certain emotion and blah blah blah, and it just can't be like, oh yeah, it just looks dope, that's why I drew it, or that's the image I had in my head I wanted to capture. Like how do you feel about like how like art is like, especially like artists are like kind of like described in like movies and stuff like that, like, oh yeah, I was kind of doing this.
Fucking bullshit. But the problem is, it's like it's a little real too. You meet a lot of those people. Like, you can tell who's like really in it because like this is what they do, and then who's in it for like the glory. You know, you can always tell. Like people that are hobbyists, people are just you always tell. Like so, it's just like just being able to navigate through that is like a very important skill to acquire, kind of thing, because. I don't know. Like you can get lost in it. Now you're one of those people, like from the movies. You know what I mean? And it's like, but then that's where a lot of people's like ideas of that stuff is formed from like the media that they see, or like just being on their phone and like and like watching some video some guy put up, but then really that guy is like he's bullshitting. You know, he stole all that stuff. There's someone else doing it. You know?
Yeah.
So
one thing I've seen too, like on social media, that I don't know if it's like trending just on my feed, but if you've noticed this too, but I've seen like a lot of people like pursue content creation as a means to generate revenue for their art. And like one of the trends I'm seeing right now is just like, oh, like watch this video on 2x speed twice and I can make my art my full-time job. Like just watching like the videos to help promote like, I guess, attraction to their art.
I've
or
never
like
seen that.
Or like, oh, like if you just like hit share copy link, I can make this like my full-time job, or different trends like that I've been noticing. Or like there was like this one girl and she was like, oh, like presenting my art in the way that like how Instagram wants me to present it, because I can't just like show it. So she like did like this whole like dance, and it was kind of smooth, but it like she like did like this dance to like trying to like turn and to reveal the artwork, and the art was like cool and all.
Oh, you talking about the thing where people have to turn it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's fucking. Oh man, I hate that. Like I see it and I just like, dude, I hate that. Like, cause like, what are you even making this for? You're making this to show on the internet? Like, are you gonna sell it? Like, I don't understand, bro. Like, people need to really get out and touch grass and like really show stuff. Like, where are you showing this stuff at? You know what I mean? Because like there are people that are really good, and then I start to like go down the rabbit hole on them and like kind of look into it, and it's like, you might see one good piece and the rest are bad. You know what I mean? Or like a lot of times it's like, oh, you're copying from somebody else. Like the worst thing I see is like the fake Basquiat stuff. Can't stand it. You know what I mean? You don't even know what this means. You're just trying to make something that looks like this.
Yeah.
You know, like it gets very frustrating. Like especially as someone that's like been in the streets for a long time and like kind of like trying to navigate this thing and like be be genuine about it and be
'Cause it
like,
sounds like you have a strong opinion about like artists that are strictly online and like make like
no,
online content.
I don't have
Oh,
beef
okay.
with that. Like, just because like the online is like such an important tool. It's just doing it for that. You know what I mean? Like, if this doesn't get numbers, I'm gonna delete this piece, and you know what I mean. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like that's time in your life that's gone. You know what I mean? Like you're probably in this for the wrong things. Like someone makes a big sale. I've seen so many posts of someone be like, you know, like, man, this art thing isn't working out, and I'll go look at their art, and it's like, eh, I can see why. And then you could use it. They would try to just put this weird number on it, and it's like, well, like, why don't you go out in your town and try to move? You know what I mean? Move your stuff, or like, you can't. You gotta take over your own city before you can move on to other places too. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of did. I'm not taking over the city, but I'm saying like, oh my bad. But keep moving away. My bad, dude.
All good. I got you.
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, like.
Taking over, you got to take over your own city.
But like you gotta have a fan base where you're at. You know what I mean? You gotta show your stuff to like everybody. Like you gotta like sometimes you gotta see the stuff in person, like to really appreciate it. And you can gain a lot from showing with other people and doing shows with other people. Like I'm still like a real big proponent or whatever the word is.
Advocate?
I'm losing. Yeah, what's up?
Big advocate.
Yeah, advocate. Thank you. my mind's going a lot. I'm a big advocate for that. Like just getting out there and like letting people actually see the work in person, even if it is just a print. You know what I mean? It's different when you can touch it. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of times like there's no intention in people scrolling. There's like they just keep going. Oh shit. Like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean anything to them. Like I know how I look at stuff, and I just wish people looked at stuff the same way. You know what I mean? Like in terms of the like create like art and animation and film and all. I wish everyone looked at it the same way.
Yeah.
Like, but it is just stuff to be consumed. It's just product to a lot of people, and that's sad. You know?
I feel that. And there was actually, now that you mentioned that too, like there was another video I saw that went viral for different reasons, and it was like this. It was the same thing, you know, those artists, you know, they have the canvas backwards, they do like the whole flip. And it was like this like farm girl, like white girl that like looked like she was raised on the farm. And you know what video I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No, it was just like.
So then she like flipped it around, and it was like these two these two black people, like a man and a woman. And I think the black guy was like either playing the saxophone or just doing something, and like the woman was like on a side profile, and I thought it looked pretty good. Like it looked very like textured, and like the way like the skin was like drawn was like very like
respectful. And,
yeah,
you know,
I felt like it looked really good.
Represented
I was like, oh shit.
properly. Yeah.
And but people in the comments and like some were like, oh, like why would you draw this? Like
Yeah,
you're
dude.
white farm
Because
girl,
why
man.
would you
Like,
draw that? Like, what are you doing? What are you trying to say with this? Like,
yeah.
like,
So then the comments became so divisive between like who's allowed to draw what and like when does skill like overcome like boundaries of like what you can and can't like draw, and like what are the guidelines and stuff like that. I wonder if I can pull it up and show you that video. But
I'm
like,
pretty sure it's good because that goes into a thing. Like, remember Rachel Dolezal?
Rachel Dolezal.
The white lady who got into like she pretended to be black a couple years ago.
Wasn't that like everybody?
Well, like she was like in like NAACP, like she made it into like some leadership roles.
Oh, kind of.
That's a white woman, right? She looks like she's black, so she's culture vulturing, like she's appropriating, right?
Yeah.
She makes art, and it is amazing. I'm not telling y'all to support her, but I'm saying like she is an amazing artist, and all her stuff has to do with like black people. Like it's not black suffering or anything like that. It's just like that's what it's represented with, and like there's like this icky part of me that's just like, well, I don't know about this, but then it's also like, dude, it is good. So it's like that's all you can really just kind of look at it. Like you gotta hope that it's coming from a genuine place with like from these people. Is that it?
No. But I remember I sent it to my other friend to kind of ask her opinion. So I got to find that. There was another person like that too that I haven't seen this person before, but there was another one called oh my God, what was her name? Because it doesn't really matter. Like when that whole Daniel Caesar stuff happened, and he was like supporting like this like woman that was doing the same thing, like capitalizing off of like rage baiting like black people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even heard this, but like there was a time where, yeah, Daniel Caesar was kind of like advocating for like this woman, and his fan base didn't like that. And he was like, if you don't like it, you can cancel me.
He's always in beef with his fans. You know what I mean? Like, he do be saying some wild stuff. Like,
where did I put this video if I can find it? Because I really thought it was interesting. Okay, so basically,
those paintings are amazing. From what I can see.
Okay, yeah, she definitely
she
took that video down. But basically, this is her, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like a typical.
Yeah.
She like grew up on a farm. She did these turnarounds, and the one that she did, which is I don't see it anymore, was this painting, and it got like millions of views. It was this one right here.
Yeah.
You know, he's like playing like like a whistle or a flute or something like that, and she's holding a dove. So what do you think?
That's an amazing painting.
But is she allowed to paint?
Absolutely. Look at the rest of the work. Like, the rest of the work is like she's just painting a scene of these people. You know what I mean? You can look into the context of what she does and understand that this is just a thing. So like us to attacking her for that is bullshit. You know what I mean? People attacking her for that. When it's like you can literally just take a scroll around and see what she does. But then because she's white and she wants to pay, it's not like her focus is black people. Because then if it was all black people, then yeah, now it's gonna get a little. Now it's getting a little weird. Why are you doing this? You know what I mean? Then you can start questioning it. But it's like it's just this one. You know what I mean? Like, I think this was done very lovingly. Like, I don't see any, like, there's nothing, like, it's all stylized and, like, you know, big heads, anything. Like, she's not making the lips extra big. Like, there's no, like, weird, like, from what I see, there's no, like, weird, like, subtext going on in it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, people are whack for that.
Yeah, and because I feel like, and that's why something like this podcast, I feel like, is so powerful, because I really do believe there are more things that connect us than divide us. But for one reason or another, I think, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation, but because of like just programming, conditioning through like just I feel like the American experience, or just the capitalistic experience, because capitalism only works when there are like different classes and divisions that are trying to pursue different things and willing to put other people down. That like people try to set up these boundaries that like, oh no, you shouldn't be drawing like that. That's like offensive but for why? Because, you know, because like you said, like, am I showing it in such a degrading way, or is it because of just like who I am as a person? And like, have you ever felt that with some of your pieces? Like, oh, you can't draw that.
Yeah, I got some, like, because a lot of the stuff was like women, but then I was like still doing like my weird little like, my weird little like squigglies and monsters and stuff. So then I was like doing like this weird juxtaposition thing. So that was like
also,
a lot of
shout out Naya Green. That's who we're,
shout out Naya Green.
Like,
I'm
Naya
gonna give
Green.
her a follow. It's amazing work.
You can draw whatever you want.
Yeah.
You could, like, you have the skills. You have like,
and you're like respectful about what you're seeing. You know what I mean? Like, this is just, I love it actually.
Yeah,
like,
shout out to you. But yeah, you were saying that,
like I had like it was just a lot of female focused stuff, and I had this lady just be like, "What? Do you hate women?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, you know what I mean? And that was like the first little moment of like static I got over something, and I'm just like, "Damn, I really got to rethink my approach now." You know what I mean? And like, really got to be a little bit more respectful of what the poses and the subjects that I'm choosing. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you don't want to offend anybody with your art, but then you also do want to challenge. You know what I mean? That's probably the artist's way, is to challenge the way someone looks at something. And I guess that's like part of me. It's like I do want to challenge like what people perceive, but then also like, yeah, I don't want to offend anybody, and I know where it's coming from. Like, you know, there's a lot of racist caricatures of things. You know what I mean? Like, if I see the Sambo thing, it depends on the context of how I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? Like, there's like black people can black artists can take an opportunity to kind of take back that imagery, and I do see some of those things happening. But then it does have to come from a real place. Like, when I see, you know, like I would never draw like a Sambo character eating watermelon chicken and try to sell it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, whoa, what am I saying? You know what I mean?
I bet a lot of people would buy that too.
Yeah, but somebody would buy it, and then who's gonna buy it? You know what I mean? Like if I if there was a rapper that came up, maybe that's how much my soul's worth. Can I get some artwork in a rapper's house? Maybe I don't know. Like you know what I mean? But like I wouldn't I wouldn't make that. You know what I mean? Like unless there was a way to present it and actually trying to come up with a thesis about it. You know what I mean? Like, what
Mm-hmm.
does this all mean? Because a lot of times when I do stuff, it's like in sets and groups of styles, and it's like I like to move on after that. So then it's like if I take this, what am I gonna actually say with this? And it's like I'm not trying to be a provocateur. It's just something that, we took back the N word. You know what I mean? Like maybe we can take this imagery and kind of make it work for us. It's possible, but it's like it has to be done the right way. You know what I mean? So. Mm.
I feel you, man. Like, and I feel like I wish more people would have that type of mindset of like, okay, what is ultimately the intention here? Like, and they've communicated what their intention is, and based off of like, one thing or another, like, are they holding true to that intention? Because some people you can tell like they're just trying to find a cop out for like not having like a reason to it, because it could be safe to assume that like, oh, like she just knew that this would get like the reaction out of people because of like the circumstances. Because I feel like do you think that that's true too, that there are some people that just make art because they know that like they're gonna get the rage bait and like the vision.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you should look at it like something somebody made and then my bad, dude. I don't think you should look at something somebody made and like get angry about it. You know what I mean? Like I think like when you ask the right questions, it does like make people want to go deeper into it. But if you're just trying to piss people off, like that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like you're just trying to be a provocateur. You're not really trying, because there is stuff that's really political and challenging, and you can look at these things and just be like, you know what? I never really thought about it that way. You know what I mean? But I don't think I've ever seen anything like art that's like straight like Nazi shit. You know what I mean? And like someone's trying to show it to me. I'm glad I'm not on that part of the internet. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't really see this stuff. You know what I mean? The most I've seen is funny videos of Charlie Kirk getting popped. And I've stopped on a couple. You know what I mean? Like that sucks. It sucks it happened, but I'm not gonna make any art about that. Like, you know what I mean? Like now what am I doing? What am I trying to say with this? You know what I mean? And then plus like when you do make stuff like that, you have to dwell on that. Like that's gonna be in you now. And it's like I don't really want to invite that kind of stuff into me unless it's like I think like when you had all the shit popping off in 2020, right? And like I did make a piece that was just really like shouting out all the names. You know what I mean? I've looked up all the names and I wrote all the names down. And like there's like this thing in that, and like just being so like it felt we were locked inside and the fucking cops are wilding. And then I never saw the Floyd video. I'd never seen it. You know what I mean? Like I just know it happened. And a lot of us had to take all that on and be inside kind of thing. And it's like I made this thing, and it was like a moment for me to just kind of honor these people within myself. And then like I put it out, and then you can't see it anymore. It's gone. You know what I mean? Like I don't want people to take my intention to mean something else and what I did. And I think I made prints. Like I did one that's a painting, and so I had to live in it twice because I had to make two versions of it. And I did one that was like a little postcard size, like, and I sold those, but then those were like all the like I only paid like basically the it was paying for the print, and then the rest of the money got donated, and like donated to these things, not to BLM, because I figured out what the fuck was going on with that. So it's like all these different things, and like it wasn't for some sense of like self righteousness. It's just like, nah, dude, man, like what else are we gonna do, And then yeah, and then you won't see me do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I just hit a breaking point of just like, dude, I gotta get these feelings out. You know what I mean? And that's the best way I can. But then, like, I'm not trying to be like a civil rights leader or anything like that. Like, you start to question a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Once you start just kind of looking into stuff. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna knock somebody for like wanting to, because that's like I said, that's them taking that on for themselves. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like
I feel you, because like you said, like you have to live with it, and ultimately it's like when you finish something, it's like, okay, why did I make this? And like, what do I now have to like deal with after like kind of seeing this?
What I have to deal with within myself. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, and also too, like you said, like okay, like whatever that is, now do I want to put this online? Do I want to make content with this? And do I want to sell it? Because then it's like that's you're like you said, you're allowing certain things to like define like your integrity and kind of like what you stand for. Because then
even in posting, you know what I mean? You
yeah,
gotta be real. Like when that dude got popped, I think the one thing I didn't like was like, yo, y'all, we just watched the dude get executed and we're celebrating it. We kind of lost the plot a little bit. Like I'm also like, fuck him. He had it coming. It's like he didn't have it. No, yeah, no. He didn't deserve it, but he had it coming. That's the
yeah.
whole way I looked at it. You know what I mean? Like you opened that up for yourself. I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I just said, hey, we shouldn't be doing this, but also don't get it twisted. Fuck that guy. So it's like, that's it. And I moved on. You know what I mean? And then you just have people just like, I don't chime in on every little thing that's going on. You know what I mean? Most of the times it's for LOLs only. You know what I mean? I'm just out here trying to do that. And maybe a little bit of uplifting. But it's like, you take all that stuff on that when you put that out there, then people see you, and then maybe people don't like the way that you think. And then for me, it's different because it's like, damn, I'm losing buyers, like I'm losing customers. So it's like I'm not gonna ride the line, but I also know like you gotta keep certain stuff to yourself. You know what I mean? Like I'm not an open book. You know what I mean? This is all you guys really get. You know what I mean? Like when you think about the you should start streaming and blah blah blah. I'm like so people can see how I operate in my life.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Nope.
No, thank you.
Shout out to Intuition though. He was a streamer.
Yeah, no. Shout out to all the streamers.
one of
Y'all
the guys
can
I had
do
on.
that.
Yeah.
Like
It's
if
not
I
for you.
streamed, it would just be me drawing, and it's like, what am I gonna do? Talk? You know what I mean? I'll play some music. No, I might get flagged for the music. So it's like, you always think about that content game and like how you want to do that. But then it's like, dude, like I don't look at my art as content. I just put it out. But it's like because I'm actually like showing people in person. So it's like a whole different thing. But nah, people got to go off if how they need to. I just feel like I don't have to partake in anything, and y'all don't need anything from me. You know what I mean? I'm not giving you guys stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're not fueling like narratives and different,
Yeah.
I guess, pursuits that necessarily go against like your values or whatever in that regard. Because like I've been having like more people recently try to like send me videos like, oh, see, like Charlie Kirk wasn't such a bad guy. And it's like I can totally see that like there are times where like he has like a decent point to make, and there are other times he had bad takes. Like that's like with everybody. Like
everybody has bad takes,
good and bad takes.
But you know what sucks now? It's like that dead internet theory thing where it's just like every couple months we're gonna see this awful take that now everyone's gonna be mad about it. Like you remember last year when it was like, could 100 people beat one gorilla? You know what I mean? I'm like, this is the dumbest thing, but I even chimed in on it, and I'm like, all right, are we talking about 100 people or 100 niggas? Like, what are we talking about? 100 big, like our strongest line of black dudes, linebackers, all that stuff. I think we got that. I think we got it. But like, if it's just random dudes off the street, no. But it's like we can engage in that. But then it starts to get weird, and now we're in weird territory. And then someone comes out and says like, "What about one big gorilla? Because they're like a nigga too." And they're like, "Bro, you ruined it. You ruined all the fun. What are we doing?" So
yeah.
Like, it's complicated.
and that's the hard thing about like the internet is just that like, and there's like there's like this whole conspiracy that like, oh, a lot of these people are just like Israeli bots trying to like, and so like division and all kind of stuff, especially like with like
there's a lot of bots though.
Yeah,
like the botting is insane. Like, yeah, my bad. I just had to say that. There's
I totally feel you because like
not Israeli bots. There's like Indian bots. There's fucking Australian bots. They're everywhere.
Russian bots and a lot of like the memes, like all the weird like Charlie Kirk memes that were coming out. I heard that like those were like started overseas on like these random like Bitcoin accounts and NFT like accounts to like raise like the prices of like these like digital like currencies of like Charlie Kirk either through like these sound bites and all that kind of stuff. So the more you memed something, the more it like became like this like more lucrative for somebody else.
Yeah, and then it turns into like this super deep fried thing that only a certain people understand. Like it's so weird. Like I've seen the dark corners of the internet. It's not fun, dude. It's not fun. There is like I have a different sense of humor sometimes. So it's like I've seen some things that are really fucked up, and only me and a couple people can laugh about it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I am never gonna send those out. Like I have group chats with friends. Like, dude, they would cancel the fuck out of us because it's like I'm with my peers and these people that I know. You know what I mean? Like we've ate together, we've bled together, all that stuff. So it's like we get each other. We know where we're coming from. That doesn't leave there. You know what I mean? The opinions. Luckily, I don't have bigots as friends, so it's like I don't know what the other side does. You know what I mean? I don't know what it looks like over there. And then a lot of times, because I do this thing and people follow me, I'll follow them back a lot of the time. Especially if I met you in person, you know what I mean? Like, you're cool to me. Oh, my bad, dude.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you're good to me. And then, like, but then it's just like, I'll see their little posts about, like, when Charlie Kirk died, it was insane. I was, like, seeing some posts that were like, ooh, you kind of go against my whole way of thinking. All right. I'm going to mentally, I can never say this word. Compartmentalize.
Decompartmentalize?
Yeah. I'm just gonna mentally
Compartmentalize, yeah.
Thank you. You as you're not a friend, you're now an acquaintance. I'll just put you over here, or like, oh man, that sucks too. Let's put you in customer now. Like I just say hi to you when I see you. You know what I mean? Just because like you have a shitty way of thinking. You know, but maybe they think my way of thinking is shitty because it's like, what do you mean everyone could be cool? Like, what about those guys over there? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. You know, like I said, like stuff like this and having like more open dialogues, because I feel like that's what it is. It's so hard to have dialogues and it's becoming so much more easier just to have takes.
Yeah.
Because like we can just talk and have a take and nobody can interrupt or chime in until afterward and they can only like comment in the comments and then like it's up to us to have like that back and forth like discourse.
Dude, trust me, I'm in the boat where I was like Sinners, I thought it was all right. I thought it was okay. But as a black dude, 10 out of 10, y'all can't take this away from us. Like we got this. But me as like a film dude, I was like, dude, but then you think I'm gonna jump on Elon Musk's Twitter to say Sinners was mid? You know what I mean? You think I'm gonna say that?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like I'm not gonna jump on what's his name, Zuckerberg's threads to say that. That's crazy. Like
Yeah.
but you know, like we were saying, you gotta keep some of that stuff inside and like really just like, I don't know, you gotta be uplifting too. Like you don't want to be like just shitting on everything. I only shit on things with my friends. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, like amongst my friends, but like amongst like the world, like sometimes like I tried to do the little internet like let me review this movie, but there's some arbitrary number that I throw out, and then now people are getting mad at me because I didn't like something. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what movies I've seen. You don't know if I've even made a movie before. Like you know what I mean? Like so it's just like I don't know. Like it's just weird. Like everyone's just so bold about that. Like you know what I do a lot of times when I'm about to jump down someone's throat over something stupid. I'm like, how's this really gonna help me in life? You know what I mean? What does this mean that I'm just gonna ruin this guy's day now? Like, it's crazy. Like I don't think people don't have internet discernment skills. You know what I mean? Like, should I engage with this? Man, you could just turn your phone off and then look at the real world. You know what I mean? But no, I gotta give this guy a piece of my mind. Like,
I've caught myself doing that too, especially with like the podcast Instagram, because that's really like my only Instagram right now. I don't have like a personal one right now.
Yeah.
I'm like always going back and forth if I should like reiterate it, but I kind of use this one as like a personal / like just podcast like
same
business
thing
one.
with mine. That's what mine is. I'm not making a separate one. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And so like sometimes I catch myself like, oh, I'm really passionate about like this topic, or like, oh, I don't agree with this person, but it's like, okay, well, I don't know this person. It's like, what am I, like you said, what am I trying to get out of this? Like, am I trying to be uplifting? Am I like, you know, trying to like change this person's mind to this think, so that like to push somebody to think monolithically with me? Because I feel like, especially with like the internet and all that kind of stuff, some people rather just want us all to like either think the same, like believe the same things, act the same way, or some people just do it for the love of rage baiting because they feel like they can hide behind a camera or something like that.
And it's like, nah, dude, if they catch you in the streets, it's over. Look at that
over.
dude, Chud the Builder. He tried it.
It's over.
Yeah, that dude's in jail. Like he was telling these, what, you gonna chip out? I would be confused if someone said that to me. Like, you gonna chip out? What the fuck does that mean? Like, they got new shit now? Like, they got new slurs for us? I didn't even know they had new slurs.
That's right.
Like, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. people forget that you can get punched in the face. Like I think that's what a lot of people forget too. So maybe we need to do a lot more of that sometimes. Like some people do need to get punched in the face.
I don't know what it is with the comment section, but if you're in this comment section, this is all about connection, and if you've had different parts of this conversation that you've disagreed with, let's approach it in a way that can have a dialogue.
Yeah, jump in the comment.
Especially since you kept mentioning Charlie Kirk, we're gonna get so many of those.
No man, R.I.P. to that guy.
I've legitimately had friends like stop being friends with other friends because of like that whole situation, and
like he really affected your life that way. Like this guy, this dude, this
guy
man
that you've never met.
Yeah, like I was so like I knew when it happened. I was like, dude, they're gonna make this guy a martyr. This is this is so bad. Yep. This is so like. Look at what Nicki Minaj did to us. Look what she betrayed us too. They all betray us. Never meet your heroes, people. Never. God.
Yeah. So thanks for that. I really appreciate that.
I'm sorry,
man. There's so many things I wanted to like get into. I don't know if you have time because it's already
I got time, man.
10, man. Because like we've already been going for an hour and 30 minutes. This might be the longest podcast we've had.
Nice. I think it's been a good combo. I'm sorry. I'm a yapper.
No, that's the whole point, man. Like I would like to make these like longer forms, and so many things I would like to do with this. Can you talk more about like some of your inspiration as far as like what are some things that you experience in life that you either pull inspiration from or things that have inspired you? Like is like anime like one of those things that influences your art?
I think it's like animation in general. You know what I mean? Like right now, me and the homie Jason, shout out J Nix, we're working on a live action animated short, and we're basically almost done with it. You guys will be hearing about it soon, hopefully. But that was like always a thing. Like as a kid, I was like, yo, like I want to be able to have a cartoon. You know what I mean? That was always like the thing. But then like as you get older, you start, you know what I mean? But I always kept that part of me like I'm gonna watch whatever new animated thing. And then when anime popped off, you know what I mean? I remember watching anime on the Sci-Fi Channel and not knowing what it was, and they're like, oh shit, titties, you know what I mean? Like, like all that stuff. And then Dragon Ball, Pokemon, all that stuff. And like that's always been part of it. But then it's like I respect the art form in its totality. You know what I mean? Even to the CGI stuff, I'm not gonna shit on that, because it's like when you actually sit down and look at what's going on, you know what I mean? It's amazing that this is even happening. You know what I mean? Like it's really just, and part of me feels like a historian to it in a sense, where it's just like, yo, like we could put on, a Looney Tunes cartoon like from the 40s, and I'll look at it and I'm like, all right, this has either got to be Chuck Jones, Frank Tashlin, Friz Freeling, like, you know what I mean? Those are just like names that like start popping off, like where it's just like, oh, like Disney really didn't like sit down and animate, you know what I mean? That's a stupid thing to think, you know what I mean? He was the business guy, but he was in there, he wanted to do it. But it's like all that stuff is, and I think like through my work, it's like I always like, I like realistic stuff, but I'm more like, I just like stylized things, you know what I mean? And like I was saying earlier, when I see my stuff, I see it moving. So it's like, that's just kind of, like I said, I'm just capturing a moment. So it's like the influences come from all over, you know what I mean? Like there's not really just a specific thing. But then like, I did have an anime phase where everything looked anime, and I'm just like, dude, like I don't want to be one of those artists where it's like, oh, you can only draw anime, you know what I mean? So it's like, no, I like to be, and then like I pay attention to the styles of this stuff too. So it's like when I look at certain people's work and it's like anime shit, I'm like, all right, do you have a style, or you're just copying someone else's style? You know what I mean? I pay attention.
I got some examples I would like to show you of people I follow. I'm like, oh, dude, because as a non-artist, it's just like, if I like it, I like it, and if I don't, then
yeah. But that's all it is art is subjective.
Let me see. Who was another person I was I'm following right now? In the meantime, as I find this, are there some like animes that not just like or like inspirations to you, but that you're really like into right now? Because anime is like one of those one of those things I'm also really into.
Dude, I am a Dragon Ball dude through and through, and not like just Dragon Ball Z and like the manga. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what's funny? I've never read a manga in my life. Shit. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm a manga guy. Like, gotcha. and not in the sense of like I'm reading mangas all the time. I just like, it's literally that one guy sitting here drawing this whole thing. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple assistants and stuff, but like, everyone's favorite things like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, Akira. They were mangas first, so it's like I'm always gonna go to that. But like, yeah, like I'm more of like I like the film aspect of it, like just when it's like movies. So it's like your Ghibli movies, your Kawajiri movies, so like Ninja Scroll and like Demon City or Demon. I think it's Demon City, like Wicked City. So it's like then one of my favorites is like Red Line, and then that's like Koike Kiyoke. I forget his last name. I can't say it, but like he did that thing in the Animatrix where it was like the guy that was running, like, and he broke the record.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about? Yeah, he
yeah.
animated that whole thing. Like he directed and all that stuff, and it's like that kind of stuff like changed me as a child. You know what I mean? Like he does a lot of stuff that was like heavy contrast, like that show Afro Samurai, where it was
Oh
like
yeah,
so
love
there's
Afro
an Afro
Samurai.
Samurai pilot that he did. So he's
Mm.
like one of my biggest influences. Him and Murakami and like Takashi Murakami, the Kanye West dude. Like I guess that's like a lot of my influence and stuff too, where it comes from Toriyama, like Otomo for Akira. So there's a lot. I guess it's like a lot of anime influence, but not like in the sense of whatever these kids are watching right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
and that's a good example too to show that like, especially for like Afro Samurai, just having like Japanese people being able to animate it
yeah,
and show like homage
and,
and
and show like everything beyond their culture and have an appreciation for it. You know what I mean?
because I know sometimes they get a lot of flack too for like poorly represented characters. I feel like the biggest one is like Popo.
Mr.
Or
Popo is a genie, all right? Like, no, but he does. Like, in the newest series, he took his turban off. He took his turban off and he had a horn. I'm like, see? He's not black. He's not a person. Because like he got out of that. Like, but then there's like this whole like when you start like you can't just get mad at something just because you see it. You have to really go into it. And it's like he was able to like I think like when you break it down, it's like it's a jin. It's a djinn, you know what I mean, how you pronounce it. And like when you look through Japanese folklore, it's like that's what they kind of look like. The Oni, you know what I mean? The demons. So it's like but then there was one part where he smiled and he had one tooth and shit. I'm like, nah, that's a Sambo, bro. Like I know what you did, but like, it happens. Like it's just cultural differences, Like it's just by the time we get it, it's an export.
or what's that one Pokemon from like the
Oh,
early?
Jinx.
Yeah,
Jinx too.
Jinx.
It's
Yeah.
funny that we got those at the same time too. Like, like, but then like, yeah, we're still getting done dirty over there. Like we celebrate when a black anime character comes out and they don't look crazy. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, he actually looks cool. Like,
Yeah.
we don't get that a lot, but
I feel like some more recent examples I've seen that I've really enjoyed is the one homeboy from Fire Force. What was his name?
I think I know what you're talking about. Like, I'm not like I don't watch a lot of stuff, but I do like I kind of know what's popular and like what people like. I'm just
Fire
not.
Force black guy. No, not this black guy, but okay, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of them in there. But
Yeah,
this
look,
guy,
he's done respectfully. He looks cool, but he ain't a main character though.
oh, he's not a big character.
Like he's getting jobbed out. like oh yeah, I like when he fights, but he ain't getting the theme music playing when he's like kicking ass. Like that's not.
Yeah,
That's not it.
That's
At least
true.
he looks good. You know what I mean? Like
I-
show me a main black character, I'll be happy to see it. But until then, like what do we have?
God. Another one that's coming out too. Like, what's it called? It's such a hard name for me to pronounce. Gachu.
Got your card? Yeah, I've heard about
Gachikata,
that.
the
Yeah.
one with the trash
Yeah.
anime. That one has people are like trash anime. Yes, characters.
Yeah, I've seen some people. I have friends that are trying to get me into this stuff. I'm like, bro, I'm good. Like I'm not watching anything time of the year. Like I'm just really just locked in and working and just being on the internet.
As
So
you should be. Simu Grier.
let me see this guy.
I mean, technically both of them, Jagger as well.
But he's see they do that ambiguous thing. You gotta
Oh,
think,
yeah, with-
you gotta
with
think
him
if
stuff
this
too.
came from a manga, so it's black and white. You know what I mean? So they don't really have to be looking at black people like that in their manga until it's colors. Like, oh, she's Bruka. It's like, like it's cool though. Like it's still the same thing as like we ain't gonna get a main character spot. we're not gonna be the main character unless it's made by us. Like it's just how it goes. Like they'll throw, and I'm glad they're doing it, and it's not offensive anymore. You know what I mean? Like, but we still getting jobbed out. You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
feel you. So it's like progress, but we're not fully
they're
there.
Japanese. It's like when you go over there as a black dude, you will stand out. You don't like. There's xenophobia. It's like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? And like, it's different. It's different than when we're out here. You know what I mean? Like out here, yeah, we're in America. Like we're everywhere. Like
Yeah.
we're not some places, but we're everywhere.
Yeah, there are a few like mediums, and maybe because I'm just not that deep into like the anime archive about like what are some like actually good like successful like black led like animes. I'm sure like the numbers just so far in between.
I was like, it's probably zero. Cause like, what can you say? The Boondocks. The Boondocks is American,
It's true.
animated in Korea. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about, people?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we
exactly.
don't got anything.
Yeah,
And
that's a good point.
And then when we do get something, like when we got that what was it, that Yasuke show on Netflix, where it's like they're doing the story of the Black Samurai and all that stuff.
Dude, I thought
And
that
it's-
was so
we thought it was
boring.
we thought it was gonna be good. Like
The music was good. I
yes,
downloaded
Flying
the
Lotus on
soundtrack.
the music, Flying
Yeah.
Lotus on the music, and like I'm looking at behind the scenes, it's like, oh, this is a pretty solid director.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lakeith
this
Stanfield.
studio's a good Lakeith. But then I'm like, dog, wait a minute. I think this might be Americanized anime, and I can always tell. You know what I mean? And then it's like the show starts. And as soon as they go into mechs and all that stuff, I'm like, damn it! Like, damn it, we lost the plot. I thought this was gonna be an actual retelling and like be deep. And it's like, as soon as they started getting like, I don't know. I watched the whole thing, but I was pissed. I was pissed all the way. Like,
I fell
maybe
asleep
it'll get
halfway
better.
through. I was like, yeah. Once the mech started coming out, I was like,
Yeah, they lost us. I'm weird about watching animes though, because it's like I pay attention. So when a production starts to fall apart, like I'm really catching like, ooh, that was off model. Ooh, that was
one of
off
the
model.
biggest fall offs I've seen. And I'm curious about your
Is it
take
One
on
Punch
it.
Man?
No.
Okay.
Even worse than that.
Okay.
Like, and I think people have just like try to blot it out because people really, really like this like manga artist so much. I think his name is like something Ito. He did Uzumaki.
Junji Ito?
See? Yeah.
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 The
The
Uzumaki
horror.
anime?
Yeah.
The
The
yeah.
Uzumaki one that came out on HBO Max. So like,
it was, I have never seen something melt before my eyes. Like the first episode tricked us into thinking like, oh, you know what, this looks good. But then when you go back and actually look at it, like they just had time to make this work. You know what I mean? But then I have a weird thing about like Adult Swim Toonami, like when they do animes and they make it exclusively, it's always bad. Like the one, that Ninja Kamui one, awful. That one Lazarus that they came out, awful.
I wanted to like Lazarus so
Yeah, we all
much.
did. We all did. We always want to like it. And it's like I'm seeing a common factor in this, and I'm not gonna talk about this part because like fuck it. The guy who produces those, he just makes bad stuff. Like it's his fault. He did that Lord of the Rings anime thing that came out that no one talks about.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was responsible for that. Like I'm in the weeds. I'm like dog. Like anytime his name is on something, it's bad. And like that Uzumaki thing, like me and the homie, shout out to the homie Ty. We did an endurance test to see if we can get through this whole thing. I was laughing at first until it was like literal PNGs sliding across the screen. I was just like, dude, I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can make it at all. Like this shit is killing me. We made it through, but it was like that was like the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And the fact that fall off was so steep, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't believe what I was watching. And it was like, I remember they announced this. I have a post on Instagram story. I can go back and find it where they showed like the first scene, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they're making Uzumaki, and it looks amazing. And then don't hear anything about it for years, and then when it finally comes out, it fucking melted. The whole production melted. And I think the producer guy, the one that I got beef with, he was like, "What are we supposed to do? Not put it out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fool. What are you talking about? Like." You have ruined this thing. Now we can't have it anymore. They've tried it before. It can't be done now. Now it's going to be one of those things that it's never been adapted, and they're going to try it again every time. Every time they mess up, they're like, I think it's unadaptable. And then sometimes there's stuff that is unadaptable. Like, you know what I mean? it's too heady, it's too thick. Like there's too many stories, there's too all this stuff, and it's like sometimes things just need to stay how they are. You know what I mean? Like the worst thing Disney has done. I'm going on a tangent because this stuff makes me mad. But like the worst thing Disney does is like remaking their classic films. You know what I mean? Like,
I hated that.
I am a big supporter of 2D animation. You know what I mean? We don't have to remake this thing in live action. You know why it's 2D animated? Because we can't do it in live action. But then CGI and all this stuff came. It was like, nah, we can make the genie real. We'll just get Will Smith to do it. And it's like, oh God. And then when you see it, it's like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like Lion King, the CG animated Lion King is awful. That is an awful movie. Why? Because you don't know how the animals feel. Because they look too real. Animals can't emote. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? And then it's like, now with my children here, yeah, dude, I'm keeping those away. I'm locking those away behind like a child block. Like none of this live action stuff in this house. Like you're gonna watch these cartoons, you're gonna love it. Tell me how many frames this was. Like, you know, that's what. Like I gotta like really fight that. Like I think when that Lilo and Stitch live action came out, I was just so defeated. I watched that, and I think my first kid was just born, so we're just in the bed. It was like Memorial Day or Labor Day, whichever one comes first. I don't remember. But we're just watching the Lilo Stitch movie, and I'm just like, hey, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. You know why? Because like Stitch is still a little cartoon. You know what I mean? I can focus on this. But then she's getting mad. It's like, oh, the lines aren't the same. You know, this part isn't the same. And I'm like, you can be mad about that. I didn't really give a shit about this stuff. You know what I mean? I think I've like come back around. But then like, what was it? Moana's coming out? Yeah, dude, fuck that shit. Like that looks awful.
And you know what it is? It's just because Beauty and the Beast, I think, was like the first adaptation they kind of did.
No, it was Alice in Wonderland was the first one, the Tim Burton one. That's what started this whole thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. For me, I remember like Beauty and the Beast because people really liked that, and there was like a whole like.
I saw that movie with my ex, and she saw it, and she wanted to like it so bad, but then me being a hater, I'm like, look at Beast, his horns are backwards. And she was like, they are. Like they didn't even get his horns right. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, see, look at this gray ass movie. Look at this fucking everything is fake. They made everything horrifying. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to see this stuff for real. That's why it's a fairy tale. That's why it's a cartoon, an illustration. That's where it starts. There's other stuff that does work, like, you know, the Marvel stuff, seeing superheroes like done, but then there's more bad than good. You know what I mean? There's a lot more bad, and it's like, yeah, sometimes this stuff needs to live on the page or live in animation because that's where it thrives the best. Why are the best movies now? Why are the best Spider-Man movies the animated ones? Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
same with like Star Wars too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of the story, you know, it just you can just capture it better and get more immersiveness into it when you animate it.
Yeah.
But then like especially like Mandalorian after like season 2 or something like that, it's just so dry and so gray and
then you start to really pay attention to like the actors in it where it's just a job, and then like now you've gotten a peek behind the veil. You know, that's all shot like on the volume. You know, like none of this stuff is real. Like, oh, that's a stunt double the whole time. You know what I mean? Like they brought back fucking Luke Skywalker, and it's not Mark Hamill. It's a weird CGI man.
Oh, dude, I've seen people and they cried over that scene. They're like, "Oh, it's so beautiful."
I thought it was cool until he showed his CGI face, and I'm like, dude, we might as well just recast it. Like, and then when they try to do it, it doesn't work. Like, we're just in a bad spot when it comes to like we had our fun, like because we're close to the same age, and it's like. I remember the dark ages of this stuff, of this media stuff. I remember that everything was bad. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're making like I remember like Batman and Robin. That movie's awful, awful. But you know what?
The George Clooney one.
I love it. I love that movie. I know it's bad, but it's like now because it's funny to me. But the last time I watched it, it just wasn't funny anymore. And I'm like, yeah, dude, this is why all this stuff died. Like, but then it's like. I had Batman the Animated Series on Saturdays. You know what I mean? Saturday morning, like, yeah, this is the good stuff. You know, it informed my taste. So then it's just like, you know, I'm always gonna be on this. Like, I have this argument with people all the time, and it's just like, you know, I can't wait till this does live action. Why? It's already good. It's already perfect. Like, what was it? Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, perfect. The live action show.
Not even watch it.
I watched, like, my girlfriend was watching it, and I was like, I'm good. I remember when that first one came out, the Shyamalan
Oh
one,
yeah.
and dog, it's still like it's still one of the worst things I've ever seen. And because like the it was literally right there. All you had to do is just make this into
Yeah.
this. And you like it doesn't make sense to me how this keeps happening.
Even as like I think I was like maybe 8 when that movie came out. Even as an 8-year-old, I was like, I know this is gonna be bad. I'm gonna go with the lowest expectations, and I was like, you somehow found a way to go lower than that.
Dude, I remember like my first bad movies and all that kind of stuff. And it's just I turned into a jaded guy, and then I turned into that guy that's like pretentious taste guy, where it's just like, nah, we only watch foreign films over here. Like I turned into those guys, and like, but I'm still like, I was just like, I hit a point where it's like, you know what? I always want stuff to be good. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to go into something wanting to hate it? You know what I mean? What kind of life is that? Like, I want like, and I can look at something and realize that it's a bunch of people working on something to make this one thing. But then also like narrative is everything. You know, if it doesn't make sense, then it's it doesn't make sense. And now you get a ding for that. You know what I mean? Or like, ooh, that was a rough shot, ding. You know what I mean? But then that's my own brain not being able to turn off like that whole part. Like I usually go into something, I'm like, yeah, I'm like really excited about this, and it's like, ooh. Yeah. Oh no, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Like, and you just ride it out. But I will walk out of a bad movie though. Like I'm just like, you know what? I don't even care how this ends. I've only done that like a couple of times. So
Damn. I mean, I feel you on that because like the whole thing with like the GJK animation with Mappa,
Yeah,
like
those
and those
poor
people
animators.
like overworked and trying to push something out. And the same thing, like, well, we got to be deadlines. We already said we were gonna produce it like
Yeah.
this day. Like we got to hit this, or like Spider-Man.
yeah, yeah. How the movie got like
Yeah.
they pushed it back.
They
But
pushed it
then
back for
They
that.
said it was coming out like the next following year. You know what I mean? And then we didn't hear nothing. They couldn't even tell us that they weren't done. Like I think I remember I saw a tweet from someone's like, oh, I haven't even recorded my voice yet, and I'm like, that's a little alarming. I mean, it's supposed to come out like soon, and then the way that like film animation works, or mostly American animation works, you got to do the voices for us because you got to be able to draw to the voices. Like that's just how it goes. But then I know they do temp voices and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, all right, maybe they just have the temp guy, and then the celebrity will come in and do all the voicing, and then like. Then you start hearing more and more. And it's like, oh my God, is this movie not coming out? And then it's like, it's postponed indefinitely. I was like, dog. And then now we're just stuck on this cliffhanger. Now we got a date, but it's like, it's just, I don't know. I couldn't imagine like watching that and it was awful. You know what I mean? That's why I'm nervous about the third one. Maybe they waited too long. Maybe it might not be good. We'll see.
No, it's gonna be good, man. I
Yeah.
have complete trust in Sony when it comes to
Sony.
Spider-Man.
it's Sony. Trust. So, dude, I don't even want to get into that.
Just when it comes to the Spider-Man series, everything.
Yeah.
I don't trust anyone with anything else, but just the Spider-Man series.
Yeah, it's just, but now it goes back to that. Just like you think, like you want to think that it's like all these artists are working together. Like, nah, dude, it is capitalism, baby. You gotta sell that. You gotta like, if the movie doesn't make any money, you'll never see another one again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sucks.
That's how I feel about like Kyle was telling me that like Scavenger's Reign, which was like another series on
An
like, HBO,
amazing show.
canceled. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, why, bro? Like this is so good, and it's sad to see that like it doesn't matter how talented you are, or even like how objectively, even to some, like a non like artist like myself, can see something like that and be like, dude, like this is so good. Like I want more of this versus like Love Island or some other bullshit.
My girl watches that. I literally just put headphones on and just work.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll find myself taking a headphone out, and I'm just hearing the worst thing. Like people say, "I like you because you like me." Like, I'm like, babe, I don't think you should be watching this. You know what I mean? I'm like going like full dad on it, like where it's just like I don't know if I want my kids even listening to this stuff, but they're babies. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal.
It's like a catch-22 we have in life where it's like I feel like we are getting like just general slop fatigue where
Yeah.
people are getting tired of like just the same repetitions, but at the same time it's like because we've been so conditioned to only intake those when we do see something like that, we think it's like long, slow, and boring, and then they don't even know what they really want because it's like
Yeah.
you're tired of this, but you're not willing to sit and engage and focus and take in a medium or an art piece in the same way. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
like-
like we can't even make movies.
Yeah, like
that
it's
anymore.
I'm so like because like that's the best way to describe it now because we did hit like premium slop. You know what I mean? Like we're in the slop era right now for
Yeah.
sure. Like it's what it feels like. It's nothing but that's all I see. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of just surrounding us, and then now I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna have intention of what I want to subject myself to. So it's like I'll get it on the internet, but then if I decide to watch something, like most of the time I'm watching something informative about like you know what I mean. Like I live on YouTube, and it's like I'm not like making content for YouTube. I'm literally just finding someone, and it's like most of the time it's just like a lot of cultural stuff, like cultural breakdowns of stuff, or like more philosophy behind the media that we were like taking in. So it's just like, oh, like what is the true meaning behind this specific thing? You know what I mean? Like the Matrix, what does it really mean? Like let's go into the philosophy behind it. And then, oh, let's break down the filmmaking as well. And like, you know what I mean? Like the essayist side of things is like I love that we have that now. But then there is a lot of drama channels and stuff, and I do kind of chime in on that. But it's like I mostly like to stay informed with my stuff like now in terms of like just like what I'm absorbing. But then I this is just the era I'm in right now because it's like everything else is just so like it's slop. You know what I mean? Like even like I be judging people that watch Love Island and then turn around and go watch Baddies and then turn around and go watch some kind of reality thing and then now you're watching bump fights, you know what I mean? Which is still fun, but like still, like you know what I mean?
She just endures bum fights.
No, like I'm just saying, like, it's just
Oh, it's just an example.
it's just an example. All that stuff is an example, but it's like if that's all you take in, and then you jump on the internet, and then now you're just this person that just
You
all
want
you
to
do,
critique Parasite.
yeah, and you want to
Sinners.
critique something good. It's like, nah, dude, I don't respect your opinion at all. Like you don't even know what you saw. You don't get it. And like I saw Parasite, I saw people hyping it up. I'm like, can't be that good. And I was like, damn, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. So it's like, you know, like when you see a Rotten Tomato score, you know, you see that 90s and stuff like that, and that's where it gets subjective. Like, I don't think it was that good, but yeah, sure. It's just an aggregate. You know, you can see either it was good or not. And then like, but I like that. I like when stuff is like when it's like a 20. And it's like, ooh, like why is it why did it get this? You know?
Yeah.
And then be like, but then when you see stuff that's like a 4, it's like, yeah, dude, this is bottom of the barrel. like this has no merit at all. Like,
Yeah.
and sometimes you're curious, but then like, wasn't I watched this movie, The Spirit? It's like a Frank Miller directed it. It's like Sin City guy and all that. Yeah, I watched this movie and I saw its rating was like a 9%. So I was really curious. I'm like, ooh, this deserved this 9. This is probably the worst thing I've ever seen. Or like that Ice Cube War of the Worlds. I was really curious how bad it was, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. You know what I mean? It's just like this is offensively bad. Like this movie isn't even finished. They're gonna put this in theaters. Like Jesus, you know what I mean? I thought it was gonna be a fun like cult thing. I was like, nah, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like he didn't give a shit about anything. And it's like I wouldn't recommend it. Don't watch that movie. Anybody don't watch it. You're gonna regret it. There's not even it's fun to talk about afterwards, but not when you're in it. You know?
What about stuff like The Artist, which is like has a cult following of it's like the movie where like the guy's like, oh hi Mark.
the Tommy Wiseau movie.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
And it got made into the movie
yeah.
The Artist.
All right, so The Room, I get
Room,
it.
yes.
Yeah, that movie's hilarious. You know what I mean? But it became a cultural thing. Like I saw the clips first, then I watched it, and I watched it with a group of people, and it's fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? And it's like, but then that's for that. Like it found its own thing, and it became good in the sense of it being so bad. Like there's a fine art to all that kind of stuff. Like I was saying earlier, Batman and Robin is fucking hilarious to me until it's not, and then I'm realizing what I'm watching. But when I'm with a group of people, hey, let's throw it on. Now we're gonna crack jokes the whole way and like all that stuff. Now we can quote it. You know what I mean? Like there's power in that. You know what I mean? But then when you watch something bad by yourself, that's why like when I go to the theater now, especially now that I don't have really a lot of time to go to the theater, it's got to be sure shot that this is gonna be solid. Like I did watch what was that the Ryan Gosling one that just came out, the Project Hail Mary. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all.
Too many people are telling me to go watch that
Yeah,
movie.
no, I think you would like it. I just got like Ryan Gosling came in and he was acting like a buffoon, and I was like, nah, I kind of like Ryan Gosling a little more stoic. This is like Ken thing that he's doing. Like now he's just a fool. Like, all right, I'm good. Like he's on SNL and all this stuff. I'm just like, all right, man. I think I can hop off right now. You know, I'll be back when you get a little serious. Like, but then he's gonna be in the next Star Wars movie, and like even I'm like nervous about that because I'm just like, dude, like Star Wars hasn't been good for a long time, man. Like,
Yeah, I've only liked the animated stuff from Star Wars. Like the Maul series, I like is really good.
yeah, my brother was telling me about it. He says it's really good, and like I think the Clone Wars stuff is cool.
Clone Wars is great.
But
Bad
then
Batch
that's
is
because the
great.
medium it's animated, so it's like you can get away with a lot more stuff, and I'm really kind of and then the serial nature of the stories. So I'm like, yeah, I can lock in on this and like be really into it. Like my brother had all the DVDs of Clone Wars, and I'll just sit there and like, man, you always watch this, but then it's like. That's my little brother, man. Like I introduced him to this stuff. Like I still have a soft spot for it, but then the later stuff, like I think after that Rise of Skywalker movie, I was like, dude, I am done with this shit.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of people were.
This is it. Like Last Jedi, I can respect it. You know what I mean? I can respect it a little bit.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, but
That's
you
why I
guys-
left the theater. I was like, okay.
All right,
the
what are we
next
doing here,
one,
guys?
The next one, man.
Because I think what was it? Force Awakens got us all back. Like
Yeah.
everybody was back. I cried when Solo died. Like I cried, and I was like, dude, Star Wars is back. And then Jedi. Oh no, I saw Rogue One, and I was just like, I'm kind of mixed
Oh, you
on
don't
this.
like Rogue One?
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on it. I'm mixed on
Man,
it.
a lot
Like,
of people say that's like their favorite Star Wars movie.
yeah, but it's like, dude, we're in the new era of Star Wars. Why are we going back? Why are we going back to let's find out what happened to Planet of the Death Star? Like that's so lame.
It's because the IP of it is already like dried up. Like they don't have Lucas no more. They took him out, and then now all he can do is fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing now.
But
is
like I
filling
don't
in the
care
gaps.
about that. We already moved like we were stuck in Clone Wars era and like fake not fake, but the expanded universe stuff. Like we were stuck in that for so long that when we finally got something new, why are we going backwards? Like, oh, we're making a Solo movie. Why? Like, what are we doing? Like, let's get like that's why when the Mandalorian came out, I was like, you know what? This feels new. This has nothing to do with any of these people over here. All right, cool. We get to see the other side. And then they just couldn't help themselves. They couldn't help themselves. You know what would be cool? This show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, we got this Obi-Wan show because like, ooh, I like Obi-Wan. But then little baby Leia's here. Like, bro, what are we doing? Stop this. Like, I'm very like I get passionate about this stuff because I like when it's good. And yeah, like I don't know.
I feel you, man. Yeah, because it's like you said, at the end of the day, it's like money speaks, and it's like whatever we think is gonna make the most money, that's what we're gonna invest in. And
Yeah.
sadly enough, like animation, like costs the money, not necessarily like in labor, because I would say that they're probably like around the same amount of money. Maybe I want to say the animation is like a little bit less, just because of like other logistics to like make something.
Yeah.
But the time it takes, you know, you're losing money on like you said, the attention span. Like, have we moved too far away from Spider-Man? Are we
Yeah.
too emotionally removed to
Yeah.
you know, get to enjoy this project and for them to reap their money back.
Yeah.
And sadly, it's just like because of what money plays in our lives, that like it puts like limitations and expectations on art mediums, because I feel like a lot of those things could have been even better if you know, they were animated. Like
Yeah.
I really like I don't know if you've seen it, like the Star Wars Visions
Yeah, I did see
stuff.
that. Like,
I was
it's- there's some cool stuff in there. Like,
Yeah.
and you're giving other people a shot to make something within this world, and it's so expansive. You know what I mean? Like, here's a story about this little guy who does the farming on this planet. You know what I mean? And then the Empire shows up, and it's like, ooh, let's see this. You know what I mean? Because it's a Star War in a galaxy. You know what I mean? So it's like we're gonna have opportunities for different kinds of stories, and we're stuck doing the same stories. We're stuck seeing the same stuff, and then these big man babies want to get mad, and then now we can't have different stuff because they want it to stay the same. Like it sucks, dude. Like even the Marvel stuff. Like I remember Endgame and walking out of that theater, and like, damn man, we made it. Like it felt like you know how the Knicks won. Like it felt like we won. Like all these years of getting superhero stuff, and they shit the bed on the ending and all that stuff. We finally got something that felt like definitive, like that's it. And then the pandemic happened, and then Jonathan Majors, and then all this stuff, and now Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom. What are we doing? I'm still want to see it, but I don't think it's gonna be good. Like I don't think it's there's no way it can be good, because why we don't know what the story is. Doctor Doom is showing up to do what? What is he? All this multiverse stuff. Okay, so he was responsible for. No. That was Kang at first. Now, what are we doing? Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm gonna have little sons that are probably gonna be into this shit. I'll care then. I'm good on this. Like I was there for the good times. Now that new Spider-Man that looks sick, I'm there. You know what I mean? I love Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Noir or
No, I didn't watch that.
oh, which Spider-Man were you talking about?
The new Tom Holland one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
they showed some stuff. You see some characters in there, and you're like, yeah, I'm in, baby. And it's like I've watched every Spider-Man movie in the theater. Of course, I'm gonna go see this. I was there for the Spider-Man twos, the greatness of Spider-Man 2, the disappointment of Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man, the amazing Spider-Man 2 being the worst thing I've ever seen. But having so much excitement for it because I'm like, yeah, dude, Garfield's gonna do it, and then you watch it and it's like, oh god, oh my god, this sucks.
There's a lot of hot takes here, man. People regard Spider-Man or the Amazing Spider-Man as like the best, I guess.
The best swinging,
The best
suit, the best suit, the best swinging. Andrew Garfield is probably the best Spider-Man. You know what I mean? I get it, but that movie is bad. Like.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Still,
like they were trying to make Peter Parker's parents a thing. There's a born identity scene in a plane in the beginning of a Spider-Man movie. What are we doing?
well, I think that was based off of like
Some comic that
the comic where like his parents are like
secret
Russian
agents.
spies. Yeah.
Boo, boo. You know, a lot of Marvel comics visit that they were just throwing anything at the wall. We shouldn't do this in the movies. You know what I mean? Like, and you could be like.
Especially because it had no bearing on the next movie. And it had nothing to do with like, pushing the plot.
Then the fact that they're setting up all this stuff in that movie and it never happens, that is infuriating. Because now you can't get invested in a story because like, oh, it never plays out. And then now I'm stuck in this thing where like, I'm never watching this movie again. Because now there's all these unanswered questions I'm never going to get an answer to. And then all these people online, we brought back the Zack Snyder stuff. Maybe we could bring back this. We changed Sonic's design. Maybe we can do this. Like, no, dude, you don't understand. Those are just the weird happen. Like, those are the weird instances where that happened, and we're better off for it. But also, nah, this is not how this stuff works. And like, I think people are just like, there's this whole thing right now about people hating Shrek's design right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think he looks better than he did before. Shrek looks bad. That's 20 years old. What are we talking about? What do you mean that this image and this image, this one from 20 years ago looks better? That's ridiculous. Like all these people worked really hard to make this look this way. Yeah. And he looks like a real cartoon, not this weird uncanny valley shit. Like,
well, you know what's funny is I've heard that the story about the earlier Shrek was that like the animators, like when they needed a break or they like were like being like punished for something or whatever, like they were told to go work on the Shrek film. Like, you know what, you need to take a break, go work on the Shrek film. And it was like the first one came out as a joke or a bit because you know it was something that was like a secondary thought or project to them.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be like some weird like parody of Disney thing. Like it just kind of felt like that, and then it just kind of like I remember there's a time before Shrek and a time afterwards. You know what I mean? And like all these kids that were born after Shrek and like during that time, like that's why the humor is the way it is now. Is because that's why Shrek is a meme god. You know what I mean? Same with SpongeBob and all that stuff. Like there's a Shrek meme for everything. There's a SpongeBob meme for everything.
Yep.
And like I'm like I think the world became a lot more cynical when that kind of became popular. And now we're in this weird part where it's like now you have a lot of these Gen Z people that grew up with it, this new generation of people, us millennials, we're like looking at things and we remember this was made for us anyway. You know what I mean? Like we're just surrounded by the takes of the internet. You know what I mean? Like Shrek belongs to me and no one else. Like that's what we get. And it's just like, dude, like I can look at this objectively and be like, you know, it's 20 years. The animation is technically and honestly better than like you can even look. The technology is better. Yeah, this is better. Period. Like maybe we've lost the way on a lot of things, but it's like when you look at the way that this movie was made, like in the animation and all that kind of stuff, it's better. That's it. Like now, do I think the movies would be better? No, they're Shrek movies. Like you're gonna get some weird jokes and you know some pop culture stuff, and that's it. Like, but is it gonna work for us now because now we're older and watching this thing and like. like I think I saw one where the gingerbread was twerking as the cheeks are all out, and I'm just like, oh man, I have little kids coming, you know, like I don't.
Now there's other things for you to worry about other than just the animation style.
Yeah, like I really have something else, but then like I was able to just have enough discernment growing up, like, oh, this is like more adult stuff, so let me just treat it with a little more respect or anything like that. Even though there is like titties and stuff, but it's like, like I can look at this like this the storytelling in this is a lot more, but that's just me though. You know what I mean? Like people are different.
Yeah, I definitely feel that it is more like an emotional thing of like, oh yeah, like I was the target audience for this, and like they can't move on from me being the target audience. And I feel like a lot of people with Star Wars and a lot of Disney stuff, like there's just so many people that grew up with it, and they have this expectation of trying to remain it as it is versus like what it needs to be for the next generation, and that dichotomy. But it's like ultimately, fuck them kids.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
We're the ones with the money.
Yeah.
So you gotta cater to us.
Yeah,
Until
you gotta like we have to like it too. That's the most important part. Like I saw that Superman movie and I thought it was gonna be bad, and I'm like, damn, this movie. I had a real reaction to the end of that movie, and I'm like, 9 out of 10, great. Finally, Superman movie that I like. You know what I mean? This was made for me now.
The one that just came out.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I didn't really like it that much.
I don't understand, man. I didn't like the Man of Steel stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Christopher Reeve stuff is old and boring. That's just me.
Man.
I think Michael Keaton Batman movie, the first one, boring. Like, I think it's boring. But it's like, that movie came out, I was like just born. You know what I mean? Like, I saw Batman Returns first as a kid, and I'm like, this is some weird shit. I'm into it. You know what I mean? But like, that's probably why I'm the way I am now. You know what I mean? Like, all this stuff affects me. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion about stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get mad because you didn't like something. I am going to wonder why you didn't like it, and then maybe we can have a dialogue about it, and then now we can, now we have something that we relate to. You know
well, when it comes to Superman, I just don't even think he did anything in that movie. I was like, bro, Superman didn't save nothing.
What are you talking about? In this one?
Yes.
He saved the squirrel. What do you mean? He saved everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He saved the squirrel, bro. All the side characters really like did the work.
Yeah, he did. Like, but he's too busy trying to put the world back together. He's trying to stop the black hole from opening, destroying the Earth.
I was like, man, your dog did more work than you did.
His dog did put in work.
Here's what I will say. Visually, it looked great, and I loved like the juxtaposition between like how Superman and is it Central City or where is he from?
Metropolis. Yeah.
How like that looked versus like Gotham with like the
Batman,
Robert Pattinson Batman. I've seen like a lot of
I loved
essays.
Pattinson Batman.
Yeah.
Loved it.
That one too. I was like,
but it's all right.
It's all right.
I think that's another 9 out of 10. Those two movies, I feel like they're great companions to like the versions of the character I like.
And and the thing is, like, I also like grew up on like the oh my god, I'm blanking now because I'm like trying to like the Christopher Nolan Batman. So it's like, oh bro, like this is peak. And then I try to show my wife again like The Dark Knight, and I was like, oh, you know what? There was some cheese in there.
The cheese in that
There's
movie.
There's some cheese in there.
I've been on a smear campaign against that movie. Like, if I'm being real, like I understand that this is a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Because I was there. I was there day one. I'm like 10 out of 10. This is the greatest movie I've ever seen. But like nothing can survive in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Like it can't continue to be the greatest thing. The greatest movie you ever saw was in 2008, and it's a Batman movie. You gotta watch more movies then. Like that's just how I look at it now. But then it's like you can also look at like we were so blinded by Heath Ledger's performance that you can look at other performances like what's her name, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Like that she looks like a pug, bro. What are we doing? Like Batman and Harvey Dent are fighting over this thing. Like so it's like, but then like I still feel the same every time certain parts of that music kicks in and I feel it. You know what I mean? So it's just like I can look at this like a little bit like not rose tinted glasses, but then also being like I get wrapped up in it too. You know what I mean? I think the Batman is a better representation of the character, and maybe it's just as simple as that he was in that costume for most of that movie, and that's all I ever want sometimes. You know, like fucking Christian Bale's Batman, like that Dark Knight movie is edited like shit to me. Like same with Batman Begins, the editing is awful. I don't really like talking about Rises that much, but it's like as a Sunday you turn on TNT or TBS and that's on, yeah, you're probably gonna watch the whole thing. You know what I mean? That's where that lives now. So.
Yeah, I feel because like most of the time it is just like an emotional biasy of like if something is good or bad, and especially with stuff like that where it lives so long. So it's like if you like those movies, like good on you. Like I know like like you said, like there's like a technical aspect that is like undisputed. Like no, this is technically like executed really well. But then it's just like your interpretation. Like, do you want more of the Batman as the Batman, or do you want to see more of like
the
Bruce
superhero
Wayne?
Batman?
Yeah,
or
do you want to see
more like
Bruce Wayne? Do you want to see the
do you
more
like the
humanistic
campy side of it? You know what I mean? Like that's the cool thing about like that media too.
Yeah.
Is that like it can be for anybody. Like, you know, the comics are still like the best part, the best way to get like the pure distillation of the character. But then like the movies do help too. So it's like, I don't know. Like I think people just gotta just read and watch and decide for yourself.
But I will agree that like if they made more movies like that with like a more unique interpretation, not and it sucks because too like Joker 2 was like so bad.
I didn't like Joker 1.
Whoa!
I didn't like it either.
That's another hot take.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I hope you know you're getting clipped up over here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot you up like a magazine, man.
Do it, man. I don't care. I think that it's just Joaquin Phoenix doing arm violins, and we live in a society that shit sucks, bro. Like, and then you want to go invoke the Batman's presence with this version of the Joker. This guy's a punk. Like, yeah, it's awful. Like, now I could look at. I think when I was watching it, I wasn't thinking about the DC comics of it all. I'm just watching this personal story of a man losing his fucking mind and like becoming like, you know, a martyr kind of thing of like, yo, like I'm fighting for the little guy. Like that's the way I read it. Like this incel thing. You know what I mean? Like I can see this as a real personal story to somebody. But then as soon as you put Batman and the Bruce Wayne aspect, like Batman as a little kid meeting him outside of the place, I'm like, this fucking sucks, bro. Get back to the sad shit. You know, get back to this guy's awful life. This isn't the Joker. What are we doing? Like, this could have been called anything and it would have been solid. But then when you invoke the Batman-ness of it all, like, oh, so this little punk kid is gonna grow up to be Batman in this world, and this is his Joker? Boo. Boo.
Dang, that's crazy.
I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. But everybody can like what they like. You know what I mean? I just don't have to.
That's true. You don't have to.
Yeah, and I have my reasons for it. Not just because it sucks. No, I just think it's just I think it misrepresented the character. I think people are going to take the wrong lessons from it. Just like I think with The Dark Knight, people saw Heath Ledger's performance and they're taking the wrong things from the Joker. The Joker is supposed to be funny. Like, he's supposed to be funny. Even Heath Ledger was funny in that movie. There's some parts where you're just like, yeah, that's kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's disturbing, but it's still funny. So it's like having this guy that I didn't laugh not once about anything.
That's true. Nah, that's true. Like, yeah. And I know a lot of people who that say that they didn't like The Dark Knight Rises because like, oh, the Joker was like too calculated, you know, he's like he's some evil mastermind. But it's like, oh, I think he really was just kind of playing it by ear. It's like he said himself, like, do I really look like a man with a plan? Just, you know, it kind of shows more about like what you like when you overthink and
because like I think the thing about the Joker and like I think that's like the thing that's misunderstood, like he's like he really is like the agent of chaos kind of thing as a character. But then it's like a lot of times he'll be somebody's like goon. He'll be somebody's henchman, a bigger bad guy's henchman in a bigger story or something. Like, or there'll be an ongoing story going on, and then the Joker just comes in and ruins everything. And it's like, the Joker's here. What? You know what I mean? We're doing this, and now we're doing this, and now it's a Joker story. So it's like having a whole movie with that dude and like not really leaning into what the character is. Like I just didn't like it. And then by the time the second one came, I was like, I'm not watching this. A musical? No, thanks. No, thank you. I already know this is gonna be bad. So when it started, when everyone said it's like, oh, it's awful, and I'm like, maybe I kind of want to see it now. Like, kind of want to see what my reading of it is, because like I'm hearing some different things about how people read it. So it's like it's divisive now. Or it's just, but it's weird that the internet does this thing where it's like, this movie's actually good. And then it's like, nah. No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to gaslight people and thinking this was good. Like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So,
I feel you, man. Well, I want to do two things, but I don't want to make you like the arbiter of like what's good or bad, but I guess based on like your personal taste, I have some artists that I follow on Instagram that I really appreciate their work. And I want to know if they get your cosign, or if you vibe with their art too,
Okay.
or if I'm just, I mean, clearly we have our own opinions.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what you're taking.
That's what this whole thing is about.
It is.
Opinions.
You could be wrong.
Yeah.
But it's clearly we have our own
I'm down to
opinions.
look.
So first I want to show you this person. This is Miss Kulik, and she does like these, what I would kind of feel like these like timely like noir like still motion.
And it moves and it animates.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like the style too because it's like you're going with like she's using color theory in the right way. Like you can see like the whole thing is red and blue and red. You got some purple in there, but it's like this is awesome.
Yeah, I really liked.
Like she's
stuff.
found her like is it she? I'm sorry, I don't.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because she like drew herself and
yeah,
that's her profile
she
picture.
found her niche and she found her thing, and like actually this is really inspiring because we are trying to animate stuff, so it's like not trying to just like take her lunch on anything. I'm just like nah, this is really inspiring. Like I feel like I like the approach a lot. I'm definitely gonna follow, and just, like it's cool to see like. It looks like it's throughout to like this is from the beginning to like the latest stuff. So you can see where she kind of found like, oh, I'm kind of obsessed with this thing. I think I found my thing. But everything just has such good color. These are amazing.
Cool. So we got a cosign on that one. Cool. I'm glad I'm not following artwork.
No, these are amazing.
This is another person, D. Bercado. Dear Bercado.
Yeah.
Not sure on who they are, but they draw like these kind of like.
These are awesome
like-
too. I've seen some of these before.
Yeah.
These are awesome.
So we got. I think I saw like this one. I was like, oh, dude, this is super
The
sick.
hands on that. The colors are great. Facial expressions are great. Like this is awesome. It's very like it feels very soft, but then it's like the hardness of the poses. You know what I mean? Like
This one's really cool, too.
all the images are very like the bodies are amazing, good angles. This is awesome. Those are dope.
Great. Got another cosign there. And then last one here, we got No Matter What, BV. I think that means like no matter whatever. And what I really liked about them was how they drew like architecture and different like landscapes in that way. I think they're experimenting with like facial features, but let me show you some of like their oops.
I like this. It really paints the scene very well, and like all the lighting is amazing. Because I try to do studies sometimes when it's like that. It's just it takes a lot of work, and like a lot of times like you can get real impressionistic of how you portray something. So the fact that she's able to get like she painted this scene perfectly. The color values, it looks like a real photo.
Oh, I think it's based off of there we go.
The first one, that one's a photo.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The second one, this one's a real. That's the one she drew, right? Yeah, she drew that one. The second one was the photo. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she does like
because then there's people out there that do like oil paintings, and you can't even tell if it's a photo or not.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I wonder if she went to school too. She had to go to school.
Oh yeah. So here's like another interpretation.
I love that.
Yeah, I think she does architecture like really, 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 really well.
Yeah, like look at that perspective too. Like you feel like you're there. Like I wonder if she's going or she's just like Google.
It looks like she's just pulling it from Google.
Yeah, that's cool though. Damn, I never thought about pulling from Google to grab a location either. It feels like
there's another one
making making technology work for me. That's cool.
Yeah, and it looks like she's experimenting with like faces and flowers.
Well, she already has the fundamentals down. She can do whatever she wants now. Like,
yeah,
she knows what she's doing. Amazing work.
3 solid artists, all cosign. Nice.
Yeah, all of them.
Damn, I wish I found like some like pretentious artists.
I like most art unless it's not art, unless it's bad. Like unless it's just like it's literally not art. Mm-hmm. Like it's AI or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel I got to do a better job of like getting into like the manga too, because like I heard like the Berserk manga from like a style.
Berserk is one of my favorite mangas.
Yeah, from
like
stylistic standpoint.
It changed the way I think about stuff. For sure.
Okay. Well, we've been at this now for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You officially have the longest podcast.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I appreciate anybody who's still tuned in to
I
this
appreciate you guys.
conversation.
I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna listen. I might make my own clips.
There you go.
Make sure you guys check this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watch me give this awful take.
So the last thing I want to do is plug some of the upcoming stuff that you got going on, because you're a very busy guy, and I know you said you have some fun stuff coming up. Can you talk more about what you have coming up as we come to a close here?
So, I mean, this won't be out by next week, but this week I'm doing, most of the time, like most of these things I'm doing are monthlies. So it's like you can catch me in Redlands, like for these record fairs that I do. I do a lot of live painting of like famous like musicians and stuff. I don't know which one I'm painting Saturday, but we'll see. You guys will see it. Then I'm doing my first market at Carl Strauss on June 23rd. Now, this is one that I'm curating, and I've like picked out some close friends of mine to do it so we can all get our feet wet and get back into this. And then every Wednesday I'm at Crush and Brew, just kind of slanging paintings and stuff like that. Then and the project side of stuff, like me and my boy Jason, our short will be dropping soon, Critical Hit. And then realistically, I'm just going to be, you guys can catch me at Coinchella. It's a coin op event. I'm going to be doing caricatures at that. So just come by, support the kid, drop some money. I got 3 kids. And then in August, I'm going to be doing like a comic convention, like an Artist Alley thing. But I think that's in Santa Ana. I'm not too sure. I got to check my schedule. I just had twin boys. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff going on. But for the most part, you guys can just kind of, my bad, dude. Just check me out on Instagram. That's pretty much it, where I post like art and stuff like that. And I'll try and be better about posting more stuff. But, you know, I'm just working on a lot of stuff, and hopefully I can catch you guys at any of these things, you know?
All right. Well, there you go. Remember, guys, it's all about connection. So make sure to like, comment your opinion and takes. Let's have an open dialogue. Especially all the Joker fans out there, man. Let me know where you stand. Obviously, we're all with the Dark Knight.
Fucking asshole. That's what it's gonna be.
Let me know where you stand on that. Shrek fans, let me know where you stand on that too. So yeah, just engage with the video however you want to. And then coming up, we have some new music from